What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Amy is in the house. That's always a good thing. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Cameras are working. No lag. Everything is working fine. Olivia and I figured it out.
You figured it out.
Whatever. We're going to add a little light to Olivia, and she just needs a little bit more light. But overall, I think we got it all figured out. A lot of work, a lot of effort, but I think we're there. Let me try this one time. That looks pretty good, Liv.
Okay.
That looks good. Now everybody looks beautiful. Yay! Covering a bunch of stuff. You know, I am sick and tired of all the sizzle and no steak. You know, I'm Benny Johnson and O'Keefe and, you know, Project Veritas and, oh, we got a huge bomb to drop. And then you hear it. It's like Prince William diddled kids. It's like, yeah, we know. Wow. Thanks for confirming it from third-party person who is a advisor to the janitorial service who said it. Wow, what a bombshell. I don't know. Maybe I'm bitter. I'm sick of it. We're talking about Donald Trump interview that he just gave to NBC. We've got some LCPS issues with, once again, the school board covering up transgenders in the bathroom. We got a bunch of stuff for you tonight, folks. Stick around. Hang tight. It's going to be a good show. We're going to be busy. We'll be right back. Folks, let's get this shared on Twitter, please. Please. Calling all Twitter people, please. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The DUM Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The DUM Show on social media or thedumshow.com.
The DUM Show, May 16th, 2025, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. One goal, one night, one chance. Chris Peranto, Laura Logan, Roseanne Barr, Jason Shepard, T.S. Dixon, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein, Ryan Samuels, Lisa Regina. One night only. The race to 20K is on. Be part of it.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy,
Fuzzy,
Amy,
fuzzy, fuzzy.
and Olivia. Geopolitics, military
You look
analysis,
great.
and
Ash, I think she froze.
Coming to
Ash
you
doesn't
live
have
on
that
all
cute of a
major
bark
social
anymore.
media channels at
No,
The
she
Dumb
doesn't. She
Show.
sounds like an adult. Yep, you're pixelating
Honest, direct,
just a little bit, and you moved up.
unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome, everybody. Amy is having an internet misfit. She's trying to get it fixed. And her camera that we adjusted, I don't know why it does this. This is a frustrating thing for
fun.
you.
It's because you guys
You just
were
do
on
it to
time,
screw with me.
and
Yeah.
it's 100%. Let me
it-
log off and come back. I have no idea.
It's internet, and it's totally cool. Hey, Liv, it's cool when we have 3 people on because your Olivia sign fits perfectly. It's almost like I already did that and put it up just perfectly. Gosh.
Oh, you're
Amy,
a
jump
genius.
back, come back in, do a reboot,
Yeah,
see if
we'll
it
try
works.
that. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, what's cool, we got a few minutes before we get started. May 16th, man, we've got a great show lined up for you. Damani Felder, Roseanne Barr, Laura Logan, T.S. Dixon, Tonto Peranto. It's going to be an awesome show. We are going to, you can see there's some changes. You can look at our cameras right now and go, holy crap, what happened to Olivia and Matt's camera? This thing looks amazing. Well, we finally got some things. I spent some time learning about lighting and cameras, and I just haven't had the time, but we've got the recipe for success now, and we know how to do it, and we've got our lighting dialed in, and it looks great, and we're excited for it, and it's more realistic, and it's what you would come to expect, and it means a lot to us. And we fixed the lag problem, and we found out that one of the cameras just needs to be replaced.
Or the software just needs to be updated.
Yeah,
We're not quite sure
either
what.
way, Leroy's going to get that camera, and I think it's the Model 1 version of the GH85 or the GH7, and I have a Model 2 of the GH7, and that's why it worked. This camera that I'm using right now is the Model 2, and yours is also a higher-end camera, so they're both higher-end cameras, and I think the one that I got is an older one because it's one of the first ones I got, so it's simple. Give that to Leroy. He's going to love it. He's not going to see any difference because he doesn't have 2 cameras, and then we'll get another one and another one, so we'll have a total of 4. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. It's good to have everybody here. We got a busy show tonight. We're starting to get some people on, which is also good. Just to let you know, you guys can go over to the Don't Unfriend Me store. We've got some great stuff. Coffee. If you're looking for coffee, coffee is the cheapest on the Don't Unfriend Me store as it is anywhere else. You can't get coffee for cheap anymore unless you want to buy some BS Maxwell House or Folgers Crystals or Sanka. But we've got...
Do they even sell Sanka anymore?
I don't know, but our coffee's better. So this is veteran made. It's sold out of Wisconsin. My buddy Matt Hawley, fresh roasts all of that coffee. 72 hours after your order and you receive it, it is fresh. It is the freshest coffee you will have. The beans are all freeze dried before they preserve the oils. They ensure that all of that is taken care of. That it's the freeze dry that they do is not exactly at 32 degrees, but they take it to a point just right at freezing where they do not freeze and crystallize and it ruins the oils, but it keeps them nice and fresh. So you got to go ahead and order this coffee. It's great. There's 6 different versions. We have the FJB, the Moab. Go over and take a look. I've realized that the store has not been selling a ton since I've been talking about it again. We had a bunch of coffee sold. Also, you can get shirts and hats and everything else. It's all high quality merchandise. We have a 5-star rating. Go take a look and please go pick up a shirt, some hats, or whatever else you want. Last thing. Hey, Matt, love the new Olivia sign, but my OCD is convinced that the L is out of alignment. Nope. That's just the curve. If you look at the O, the line of the O would then go into the loop of the L, so it fits out. It fits perfect. It's not. I know your OCD says so, but it's not. Thank you, though. And please don't ever mention that again, Terry, because Olivia will see it. No, I'm kidding. It's not. It's just, maybe it is. I don't know, but maybe it is. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
What happened to your lighting?
I changed it while I was waiting for it to reboot.
What did you do?
I just changed it all to the white instead of orange, except for one still half orange.
It looked better orange.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. And then you don't have to fix it right now, but
Okay.
the most important thing is you change the setting in the camera. So like you see how it has that greenish hue right now? It looks good though. If you change the camera to whatever number that is, it won't look that way.
Okay. I took
It'll
out
just
my
fix it.
backlights. I forgot.
You look beautiful. Don't worry about it. Knock it off. You look
Sorry.
great.
This is what you get tonight, y'all. Sorry.
Stop being sorry. We'll do it together. I'm drawn to you, love and light.
It's
Send me
already
a friend
deleted.
request. Layers Bonita.
Ooh,
It looks like you-
layers bonita.
Looks like you have a few layers, to be honest with you. You're definitely putting on your winter fat in the summer. So stay warm and toasty in your permaban from our show. Bye, layers, Amy says. Bubba says, I wasn't pointing out the L, just FYI. It's okay, Terry. I you know what? I look at it. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's not moving. It's staying there. Olivia looks great. You not so much, but not the camera's fault. Okay, great. All right. So,
Thanks.
jeez, it's just nice to have the lighting right and get it finally dialed in where it needs to be, and knowing that we can do this with just a few lights versus. And Amy, you're gonna be amazed. You'll be amazed at how many lights you have to turn off because it's your white balance, and white balance changes everything.
We just need to go over to her house and get her set
You
up.
do.
Amy, why don't you just come pick me up this week sometime and we can go do it? Do you have any time?
No, because it's tomorrow. I can't, and then Friday is just busy, and then Saturday is the first Holy Communion, and then it's just
Okay.
we have,
Well-
Sunday's
yeah.
Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Sunday's
crap.
Mother's Day. Forgot.
That's
yeah.
right. That's
So,
why we didn't do the show on that. Okay. Well, either way, now we know. All right.
week.
So, yeah. Next week. All right. So, I received a video today. Now, I want to disclose something really quick because this is important. Armed Forces Brewing Company. I've got to give you a disclaimer. I don't know the guys over at Armed Forces Brewing Company like friends, but I've met them. They've met me, and we've met on one occasion, which was through Flags of Valor. And there was some Armed Forces Brewing Company did some work with Flags of Valor, and then also PFC Flag Company. They work with Armed Forces Brewing Company as well. Armed Forces Brewing Company is a veteran brewing company, but there's some things that we'll talk about that kind of put some light on this. That the video that was done makes it sound like the woke brigade canceled Armed Forces Brewing Company, and therefore that's why they're relocating without a location in Florida and Texas, and that's not the whole story. And I don't like. All I was going to do is play this video and go, God, that really sucks, and the woke sucks. But I don't do that. And Tim Pool had a really great point today, and occasionally he does do that. And Tim Pool basically said, and he was like, they're like, well, let's talk about this event that took place, and we'll just make up whatever it is, just some event. And everyone flipped out. And I think it was the one where the Native American was banging the drum in front of the conservative kid with a MAGA hat, and he stared at him, and everyone said, oh, this is openly racist, and it's anti-Native American and all this other stuff. And then Tim Pool didn't jump on it. We didn't jump on it either. And it's like, why? It's like, well, because the left media has their own little pool. They all follow each other, but they don't follow anyone on the right. And so one person says, oh my God, look at this racist Native American story. And then someone goes, oh my God, look at this racist Native American story. And then look at this racist Native American story. And it spreads like AIDS. It just exponentially gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the right, we don't do that. What we do is that we follow the left and we follow the right in order to qualify and quantify whatever we come to when it comes to talking heads. Now, I'm not saying that there's a group of people that don't share something and then it's everywhere. Like Laura Loomis shares something and then O'Keefe shares it, then Alex Jones shares it, and then everyone gets a hold of it. That happens on the right too. But the true people who actually take care to tell the truth don't jump to conclusions and wait. Bongino is one of them. I'm one of them. Benny Johnson isn't. In fact, I don't think Benny Johnson has ever waited for anything in his life without literally just shooting his load, because that's just who he is. He has to beat a network first. We don't. So I figured I'd tackle this, dive into it, do a little research, make some phone calls. So I want to make it clear I'm not disparaging the Armed Forces Brewing Company. I don't have any personal stake in it. but I did think it was important for disclosure to talk a little bit about it. Amy, they're a big company. They're out of Norfolk. They were in Maryland first. Your thoughts? Have you run in with Armed Forces Brewing Company or anything like that? Know anything about them?
I actually know nothing about them. I haven't heard this story, but I know a location that they can buy. It's up by us. It's a former brewery that's for sale.
Yeah, I think they want to get out of Virginia. They're not too happy. Let's listen to this. And we'll talk about Mother's Day today. I want to talk about Mother's Day, especially with two moms. I haven't really talked about it on the show before, and I want to. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Watch this. Tell me what you think. This is Steve Gruber. Never heard of him before. He looks like he should be on Fox. He's got a great looking set. I always, now that I'm considering, building the set, I very much watch these things closely now. Here is the video of Mr. Gruber and talking to Armed Forces Brewing Company. I'd love for you guys to kind of listen to this and tell me what you think and what your opinions are, because I definitely made an opinion pretty damn quick. Here it is.
Something a little bit different here in the back end of this hour. Thank you for being here, by the way. My next guest is Alan Beal, CEO of Armed Forces Brewing Company. It's a military and veteran tribute brewery owned by thousands of active duty troops, veterans, first responders, and their families nationwide. Well, Alan, welcome to the program.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you here. Tell me more about this this brewery you have.
Well, we're actually relocating out of Norfolk, Virginia to either Texas or Florida. We made a multi-million-dollar investment into Norfolk, Virginia, and we acquired a rather large brewing facility that was going to allow us to brew beer and supply the entire Eastern Seaboard, grow our business, and scale our business. We got open and had quite the opposition against getting our permits. And that opposition escalated after we did get our permits from the city council in Norfolk.
Wait a second. Hold on. It was an existing brewery.
Yes, for 9 years.
And so it was producing lots of beer already. And you come in, you changed the name of the place, put a different label on it. Why were you targeted?
We did. Well, because we are pro-military. I would say we
But you're in Norfolk, Virginia. It's the biggest Navy town. Isn't Norfolk the biggest Navy town in America?
It is. It is. There's 100,000 families there. When you
I know I'm supposed to wait, but I got to kind of like this. Someone says he's Newsmax. He very well may be, but he was on Rumble, and this was sent to me through Rumble. I immediately love that he is not. Amy, I am very sorry that the presented by is covering your face. I do need to adjust that video. I apologize. It should be on the other side. I didn't think about that. And with the 3 box, it kind of sucks. So I'm sorry.
Don't care. It's fine.
All right, cool. So it's nice to see that he's like, I don't understand. That's what I want out of a journalist. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, the woke mob canceled you. Okay, why? What was their reasoning? Well, it's because we're veterans. Okay, that doesn't really resonate with me. And I think it's an easy trope to say, but is there something else here? And so I had to do some research, and we'll talk about it. But if your alarm bells are going off, well, they should. Here's the rest.
Eat it into the public's mind, and that the owners and the operation is racist and bigoted and this and that, and you start doxing customers that go there. You start calling.
Amy, I'm sorry to hear about your uncle. And Earl says, hello, everyone. Just to let you know, I had a stroke last Saturday night. I'm doing a lot better now. I'll be okay. Earl, God, man, I am so sorry to hear about that. Please tell us, I mean, everything, speech okay, cognitive function. How are you, man? My father went through a few of those, and my grandfather did too. And I know it's probably going to get me as well. So just, man, that just sends shivers down my spine. So please let us know how you are, man. And God bless. I'm glad you're okay. I'm so freaking glad you're okay.
Customers and accounts and outreach partners and sponsorship partners, like the 2 athletic clubs that we sponsored, and telling them they're going to be boycotted and if they do business at Armed Forces Brewing Company. That starts to weigh in on the community, and no one wants the drama to come out to your tap room, to come to your facility, to buy your beer, to carry your beer, and that affects your business and your ability to operate profitably.
So what do? You said you're looking to move to Texas or Florida. What do you do with the facility you have now? Put it back on the market?
Yeah, we're going to put it back on the market. We're going to relocate, go back to a contract brewing business model for right now, and look for another brewery to buy in the future. But this is a coordinated effort, and there's actually some legalities involved as well. We filed criminal complaints to the local law enforcement there, and who has done nothing. So we're taking it to the state and to the federal level. There's violations of the Hobbs Act and RICO that we believe, which is a lot of tort law, and we're gonna make these people accountable for what they've done. It's been a nonstop, coordinated effort to bring our business down.
Yeah. How much beer do you produce?
We're producing about 2,000 barrels a year, getting ready to scale out. Our beer was picked up by a lot of chains like Publix and Walmart, Total Wine, Winn-Dixie, a lot of grocery store chains. We were getting ready to start producing beer for C stores like 7-Eleven and Quick Trip and Wawa, and that's all come to a halt now because of this. We really wanted to scale our business out of this brewery here.
Can you survive this? I mean, this is a massive disruption of your business, Alan. Can you survive it?
Not operating in Norfolk, Virginia. Admirals are having their retirement parties at our brewing facility, and then they're doxxed online on X or on Facebook for doing business with bigots and racists, a racist company like Armed Forces Brewing Company. So, like I said, we're going to relocate, Steve.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Can you survive relocating? I mean, you're ripping the bush out by the roots and replanting it. Can it survive?
We're going to have to. We're fighters, and we've got a great product, and we've got a great team, and we've got a great mission out there.
I can't believe that people would attack you to such a point that they would. I mean, how many people do you employ?
Yeah, we were employing 22 people there. We had gotten a tax incentive program from the state of Virginia to hire and employ veterans there as well. So
$300,000, mind you. And Glenn Youngkin piggybacked this. So this was relocated from Maryland to bring the business into Virginia. 22 employees, $300,000 tax liability. Something seems weird to me.
Our peak, we had reached about 22 employees. Now we're down to me.
Uncivil. We'll talk about the Karen Reed trial a little bit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alan, I wish you well. If people want to find out more about Armed Forces Brewing,
so let's have a conversation. I've got some guests coming on, and they're very prominent. And if I challenge them, they don't come back on. If I say something that they don't like, they'll never come on again. Is that my responsibility to research my guest and uncover the truth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not that there's Roseanne and Tonto, and you guys are all good, but if Jeff came on my show, I would have some very serious questions for Jeff, and I'm going to invite him on, and I'm going to say, listen, you got the softball interview. I want to give you the hardball interview because I want to talk about 501c3s, and I want to talk about veteran businesses, and I want to talk about the guise of being the Armed Forces Brewery. How many of your people were veterans? Because there's companies that I know, like Valor, who have 10% of their staff that are veterans, and the rest aren't. The owner isn't even a veteran for Valor Home, and they say that they are. They're not. Flags of Valor hired veterans, and they were all veterans. And yes, they turned a lot of veterans and let a lot go, but it was all veterans. So there's companies that you can trust, like FOV, and there's companies that you should question and say, I've got questions. So that's the thing. If I invite a guest on, should I prepare? Should I not sabotage, but should I say, I'm so proud of you. This is an awesome thing. However, I got some questions and I don't know if this jives. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you definitely need to research. I've never heard of the company until just now. So really don't know much. I do know that in Virginia, it's real hard to do anything with food or beverage. We have a local, it's supposed to be a coffee and gun shop. And in
Coffee and beans.
it's Bullets and Beans
Whatever.
is the name. And they wanted to open it as a coffee shop and have TVs and Xboxes because they had a 7-year-old son when they opened the business, and they wanted him and his friends to be able to come over after school. But it was also a gun shop, and they sell ammo and guns and stuff like that. They've been open for 9 years, and they have yet to get their license to sell coffee. They can't sell any type of beverage in there.
Right.
They can sell their bags, but that's it. They can't sell anything that they make in the store. So half the store is empty. They're great people, great customer service, but, and here's the thing. They're like a quarter of a mile from an elementary school, and they can still sell firearms and ammunition. They can't sell coffee because there's too much red tape and they can't get through it. So maybe there's something there with that, with Virginia, and there's some issues with that. But I would have to do more research to be able to talk more on the topic as to what's going on.
Well, that's fine. That's why we're going to talk about it now. So you watch that video. What questions do come up in your head, Amy and Olivia? What questions come up in your head?
What did they do wrong? Because one, look, I don't live in Norfolk. We are in Virginia Beach and have a ton of friends in Norfolk, which is the neighbors of Virginia Beach. We go to the northern part, so it's literally a couple miles away. We know a ton of people there. I know a ton of people that work out of there even still. And I will say this, it's very left-leaning, although there's a lot of...
Oh, yeah.
It is. It just is. So I get him trying to come from this angle. However...
Yeah,
Two, I personally know... No, three. There's three, actually, personally, that I know. Breweries that are former military...
Yep.
Or active... Or some of them are... I think one still has a family member that is still active. That's the one in Sterling. I don't know. They may or may not. Anyway, there's three that I know of that I can name right around us that are wonderful people. They all do amazing work for our communities. They give back to veterans. My favorite's One Family. I don't know if it's because I love David Keener. He's amazing, even though he's abandoning us and moving, not because of problems with brewing beer here, other personal reasons. But I mean, he has a beer called The Fallen where he features like fallen heroes on the back of the can and their story. And it's just a beautiful thing. And the beer's good. I'm not a beer drinker, but I like it.
But this isn't the Armed Forces Brewing Company. Can we get to that?
No, okay. So my point is, I don't understand why he's having a problem. We live in one of the most liberal counties in the freaking state.
Right. Exactly.
And we have 3 breweries. Actually, I think only once or 2 is in our county, but there's 3 local ones. They're not having any problems with the freaking liberals here. People want to support them because they give back to the community. They're good people. They're not starting controversies. They're not alienating anyone that I'm aware of. And so what's the controversy is my question.
And we don't know that Armed Forces Brewing Company is doing that. However, we'll uncover that. That's a really good question, right? Because it's going to lead us to some of the truth that's here. And I want to open it to Jeff if he sees this, which they're big. They're just not huge, right? They're not like, it's not like the Black Rifle for beer. They're big enough. People know the name, but that's about it. And if he sees this and says, "Oh, I don't like the way I was represented," well, then you absolutely come on the show and have a conversation. We're not trying to throw you under the bus. Oh. You went on TV and said something that wasn't accurate. And it was absolutely accurate, but you didn't give any context as to why. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the context as to why. What else? What other questions do you have when someone says, "Hey, we're relocating, we're getting out, we got a $300,000 tax break"? What else do you come up with something and think about something?
I'm with Amy. I mean, why? What?
I know, but what else? We've done that. Like, see, I'm going to start. I'm not going to let you guys do that. What else? If there isn't anything else, just say there's nothing else.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Else.
Amy, is there anything else for you besides the why? What else is there?
I want to know particularly I mean, it's kind of obvious the choice between Texas and Florida, but which one? And I don't know a ton of breweries in those states personally. Maybe there
what
are.
does Texas and Florida immediately tell you?
They're
Like that
gun
you?
friendly.
Well, no. There's something.
They're red. They're red states.
Right, that's it. That's so he's a diehard Republican, probably a Trump fan, so that can explain why a little bit. Okay, because maybe he's unpopular because of some of the things he has said. Anything else?
I just want to know, like you said, who's on their payroll? Who do they piss off in politics? Because it's just like it's just weird. They're military. Norfolk is very, even though it is very left leaning, the military is still very respected there, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone be
No,
disrespected.
they're dicks. Norfolk sucks. Sorry, Va Beach and I was stationed there, so it's not the same. It's been overrun by liberals, but it's still, it can be profitable. Carrie nails it. Finances. That's the first question I have. Because if you are turning a massive profit, I don't care how much you're canceled, because the right would absorb anything that was taken from the left. So why are you not profitable? And that's my biggest question. And luckily I found some of the answers. So we'll walk through it. And this is kind of an experiment in how we should look at every single thing that we look at. Is you should do it this way. Now I'm not saying you have to. You're reading something and they're like, oh well, the African laden condor is on the rebound, and you're like, oh, well, we're going to find out about that. Some things you just don't. But if it sounds kinky, you probably should do a little research. So I looked up the financial filings. So they moved in 2023 from Maryland to Norfolk, which is kind of out of the frying pan into the fire for me, because Maryland's extremely liberal. Then you move into another liberal city. And in 2023, the indicators were there. We saw Norfolk went heavily for Joe Biden, and even did in this last election in that entire area. A lot of the social media posts that I found said that the marketing from the company specifically was misogynistic, homophobic, and transphobic, which definitely sounds like the woke left. So I think he's got that right. Youngkin gave them the $300,000 tax incentive, like I said. And then they took over the former O'Connor Brewing location in Norfolk, and put it right smack dab in the heart of veteran community. And right when the company arrived, a lot of the neighbors and a lot of the businesses, they had over 800 registrations of opposition to the brewery, and went after their city permits. So there was already, so this is Amy's question, who did he piss off? Because the moment they come in the city, they're already getting, houndswoggled from the behind. From there, Rob O'Neill, and you guys know Rob O'Neill, Navy SEAL, and he claimed to have shot Osama bin Laden on the bin Laden raid. You guys have seen him, and I've seen Barry Morgenstein just did a photo shoot with him and was on his podcast, and great dude. But he was the public face for armed forces. So if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you saw it from Bobby O'Neill. Robert, I don't know him. I can't call him Bobby. And he owns a little bit of the company. But he did, being the face of the company, talk about drag queens as a recruitment ambassador in the United States Navy, insinuated that members of the LGBTQ plus community were pedophiles in a since deleted tweet, was removed from a Delta flight and banned from the airline for refusing to wear a mask in 2020, which I support all of those things so far. But the reason why they took him off as public facing was he allegedly called a security guard the N-word, and was then arrested in 2023. So the Norfolk City Council approved, but the Civic League and the Planning Commission were really hesitant to bring him in. So the city councilman, Tommy Schmiegel, basically said, let the market decide his fate and just throw it to the free marketplace and see what happens. And so I started to dive in, and I went into the FEC and the SEC documents, and kind of to lift up the proverbial hood of the company and find out Well, is it profitable, right? Because you can't get canceled unless you're profitable. Canceled means it takes your livelihood, it takes your job, your career. So this is the first thing I found. He was operating in the red long before they arrived to Norfolk. The documents, March 4th filing, they show despite nearly tripling his revenue, the company lost more than $1.7 million in the first half of 2024.
Wow.
And
How do you do that?
you grow too big too fast. Armed Forces said that that's what it was. They ramped up their brewing at Norfolk way too quickly. But this was consecutive years of loss. Company lost more than $2.4 million in 2023 and more than $900,000 the year before. Now, 2022, I can blame a little bit on COVID. But alcohol wasn't affected. They opened up those liquor stores fairly quickly.
True.
After that. It notes also that the company had next to zero cash on hand on June 30th, down to $12,000 cash on hand. I'll just let you know, the Don't Unfriend Me show has more than $12,000 cash on hand. And we're not a multi-million-dollar company. Like, if your valuation is $2 million, you should have a few $100,000 in the bank. Court records from Portsmouth, which is also near Norfolk, and Henrico, which is also near Norfolk, showed several different companies going after Armed Forces Brewing for unpaid debts and filings that date back as far as 2024, October. The company warns in the filing that sales of beer and merchandise combined with money raised from investors may not satisfy its cash requirements and that it would need to raise even more money over the next year to implement the plan of operations. They right now are not saying that they have enough money to open. It looks like they're on a PR campaign. Beal's statement to me looks like he's drudging up support for a business model which is not particularly
Lucrative.
Lucrative or well run. Well, it sounds like it's lucrative. It just sounds like cash handling is or could be an issue. Once again, I'm not here to lambast people and make people feel like I don't care, because I do, and I understand the struggles of what he's going through. This isn't an easy business, and none of it is. Try a podcast sometime. But it sounds like a lot of this has to do with self-inflicted wounds that were here before he made the move, and now some of his PR and marketing decisions have had an impact, and he hasn't established that conservative red base like he should have. So, my recommendation for him is to get on every single conservative podcast you can and come on ours and talk about your business and be honest and open and what's going to change and why should we invest in your product and make a business argument. But I don't like it when anyone goes on and says the woke mob canceled me, because I think that's a cop out. And I think, most of the time when you get canceled by the left, the right steps up and fills the gap. And why aren't they? And it sounds like they are. And it's just, there's some poor handling. Thoughts on this?
So you might have to explain this in layman's terms. I was listening the whole time.
Sure.
Okay. So they're a lucrative company, but they're losing money. I guess I don't understand how that works.
Sure. Let me explain it to you. Okay. So let's just say you and I made $75,000 this year.
Okay.
Okay. And we take and we spend $69,450.
Okay.
Okay. But we also know that it's only the first half of the year. And in the second half of the year, we go ahead and decide to go ahead and take a loan for $95,000, assuming that our business is going to grow and we'll see a multiplicative result based on the second half of the quarter 3 and quarter 4 financials, which allows us to lean and leverage our company a little bit more for cash on hand, since we've already just blown our entire wad for that 6 months. Well, what happens when you don't make those sales? Well, you're in arrears and you're in the negative.
Okay.
Right. So that is being cash poor in a company. And Amazon has been cash poor for 21 years. They've never made a profit. Amazon has never made a profit, but their company is vested at a certain value and they make an ungodly amount of money, but they buy so much into their infrastructure. They leverage their company massively, and their innovation and design is always superseding what they make. But they're still worth a shit ton because they are profitable, but they're growing. And they know that in 10 years, there will be no other options other than Amazon if they continue at this course. It sounds like the Armed Forces Brewing Company made a lot of cash and spent a lot of money without having a smart CFO to hold money in arrears to protect future investments and kind of spread and hedge their bets.
Got it. Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Bubba Ford has a birthday. Bubba, I'm not going to sing to you, but I'll tell you happy birthday, and we love you.
Happy birthday, Bubba.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Bubba.
birthday, Bubba.
So here's the thing. You should try to stay out of politics and business. If you absolutely can't, you have an obligation to your shareholders and to your customers and your employees to ensure that it doesn't hurt your business. And that's why we have liberal followers, not a lot, but I try to at least present the ones who are articulate and can make a case and aren't completely with Trump derangement syndrome. And it sounds like we're very much, we're on the right, and that's it. That's who we are, and it's having an impact on their business.
Okay.
Other thoughts on that, Amy?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know this company at all, but that would be my same advice to them, is to reach out to the people that you align with at the very least. There's enough people out there who can help promote their products, even locally. I know it is more left leaning there. But
Yeah.
again, I've never met anyone personally that's been like anti-military there at all. I mean, it's just everyone's military. So even if they're left leaning or liberal military people, they're all going to be supportive of a military brand. So it's very curious to me. It's just curious to me. I'd love to have him on, because I'd love to know more.
What's the barbecue place that's
Mission?
yeah, Mission is like, I think Mission barbecue sucks. But
We go.
But we go because it's Mission rocks.
Right.
And that's why they support veterans, and it's unbelievable, and they give back. And I hate their barbecue. I think it's basically like Arby's with a little bit of barbecue sauce. But
Yeah.
I will eat there because it has a great mission. I support Black Rifle, even though they donate to liberals heavily. They also give back a shit ton to vets. Grunt Style, although they were a little woke with the way they treated Dan in. But I still support their company, and once in a while I'll wear their shirt. So I look at it this way. I'm not saying he's a bad businessman, but you know what he should have said? Real simple. You come out and say, listen, we felt like the moment we came here into Norfolk that we were getting attacked and trying to be shut down for some choices of getting into politics, maybe when we shouldn't have. And we're trying to go ahead and fix that, but we've also made some decisions of getting ahead of our skis a little bit, and we need to dial it back. And we think going into a small establishment in Texas or Florida would behoove us to put us around people who are like-minded. And we're going to go from there. And we're going to start small and have big plans. That would be a great answer. And because here's the other thing. There is no facility or plans in Florida or Texas. They are going to basically sublet their beer production to third-party vendors. And so don't go on a TV show and say you're going to open up a plant in Florida and Texas when you are third-partying your margins and you're cutting 20% of your profits by going to a third party. I know this because like I can hold T-shirts on hand and I can get them for $6 a piece, but I have to buy every size and have inventory on hand, which is money out of my pocket. Or I can use print on demand, which I do. I make less, but there's very little risk. I'll take option B. That's what he's doing, but that's not going to get him his own plant. You don't do that unless he goes global. But you're not going to be able to compete with Budweiser and Coors and these other ones by selling stuff by the F-150 load when they're selling it by the train load. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's Sherilyn's birthday as well.
Sherilyn.
Happy
Outstanding.
birthday, Sherilyn.
Happy birthday, Sherilyn. And we should just do a happy birthday for everybody? No, let's not do that. We won't sing. Still Point's writing us a happy birthday song.
Oh, I love that. I love them.
It's going to be much easier.
I made the
Their
suggestion
song-
and they were listening.
They were.
I
All
like
right.
their song. I don't know if it's new, but it's like new-ish. Their newish song.
They've got some newish stuff.
Yeah.
It's go on
Like
iTunes. It's all there.
Yeah.
Listen, somebody wanted to know about the Karen Reed trial. Does anyone know about the Karen Reed trial here?
I don't even know who Karen Reed is.
Amy, tell us a little bit about Karen Reed trial. Then we'll go over it too.
My gosh, I wish I had the
And this is
hours.
in This is in Norfolk too. This is in Norfolk County, and this is her
No,
second trial.
It's in Massachusetts, Norfolk, not Virginia.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was Virginia. Whatever.
No,
Hey,
I
can
wish
we
I
just
would
pretend?
be like.
Can we just
I'm not
pretend?
working.
Can we just pretend it's Norfolk, Virginia?
Oh my gosh, there's so much in this trial. So the first trial, so she's already been tried. This is a retrial.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
right.
what
She
year.
killed the Boston police. Oh, allegedly killed the Boston police officer. That's what this is, right?
It's yes. Well,
Okay.
allegedly the jury has spoken out. The first jury has spoken out, and I think the majority of them have come out. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that the majority of them have come out and said, no, we could not find her guilty of murder. But they didn't, I guess, explain the rules correctly to them, even though they asked for clarification.
Right.
And so because they were like unsure of the one charge, but they said that they did not find her guilty on the two murder charges that they were accusing her of, that they just gave it a hung jury because they didn't know how to rule on the last thing because they were divided. So it was very confusing for the first trial. Second trial.
Okay,
It's
so
great.
time out. Let's do some background. Karen Reed is, because this wasn't on the docket for tonight, but you have a viewer who comes in.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Karen Reed currently undergoing their second trial in Norfolk County Superior Court. That's right. Yes. Massachusetts, for the alleged murder of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. This retrial commenced on April 1st, 2025, following a mistrial in July of 2024, when a jury was hung, a unanimous verdict after 27 hours of deliberation. So here's the background. O'Keefe was found dead in the snow outside of the Canton home of fellow officer Brian Albert. Affair. Prosecutors allege that Reed, after a night of drinking, struck O'Keefe with the SUV and left him to die. She faces charges including second-degree murder, motor vehicle manslaughter, while under the influence and leaving the scene of a collision causing death. Reed maintains her innocence, asserting that O'Keefe was fatally injured during a confrontation inside the house and that she is being framed as part of a law enforcement cover-up. Her defense highlights alleged investigative misconduct, including the dismissal of lead investigator Trooper Michael Proctor for inappropriate conduct and bias. The names in this read like a novel. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
so here's the developments, and Amy can clue us in, and Olivia and I will just sit here and love this. Witness testimony. EMT Katie McLaughlin testified that Reed repeatedly said, "I hit him," upon discovering O'Keefe's body. This aligns with earlier testimony from Jennifer McCabe, a friend of Reed, who also claimed Reed made such statements. Digital evidence. Jurors heard that Reed called O'Keefe 44 times over 5 hours after dropping him off, leaving voicemails that transitioned from accusatory to concerned. Interesting. I would never want something to happen to you, because if they heard my voicemails, oh my God, I'd be so embarrassed in trial. Because some of them are like, you know what? I'm wearing your panties on my head. And then others are like, I want a divorce. I can't believe this shit. What are we doing? More of the other than the other.
He likes to wear.
I like to wear your panties on my head.
Panties on your head.
It's just a thing. Just don't judge me. Contested forensics. Recent testimonies have focused on digital. I was going to say something naughty, but it would expose her, and I don't want to do that. So I just made myself look like a fool. But she's kind of freaky deaky. Recent testimonies have focused on digital. You notice her face. See it? She's complete stoic, and there it is. There's the shitty grin and blush. Testimonies have focused on digital forensics and cell phone data from key witnesses, with the defense challenging the integrity and interpretation of this evidence. The defense strategy. The defense argues that O'Keefe's injuries are inconsistent with being struck by a vehicle and suggests he was beaten inside the house. They also point to alleged mishandling of evidence and potential conflicts interest among investigators. Yeah. So the whole reason that this is a big thing in public attention, it leads to various media productions, including documentaries and podcasts. Additionally, the O'Keefe family has filed a wrongful death suit against Reed and 2 bars, alleging over-service of alcohol contributed to the incident. As the retrial progresses, it continues to be the focal point of legal scrutiny and discourse. All right, what did we miss, Ames?
So yeah, I mean, that is a good summary, but I'll tell you, between the initial grand jury, they've already proven that several McCabe, she has perjured herself, and they have proven that because she lied either now or to the grand jury. When Karen Reed was saying, I hit him, and they're saying it as like a statement, actually, when they initially gave the reports, they were saying it
I
as
shot the clerk.
I
shot the clerk.
hit him.
I
Like,
shot the clerk.
could
Are
I
you
have
kidding
hit
me?
him?
She pulled the my cousin Vinny defense.
Yes.
I shot the clerk for a can of
Yeah.
tuna. Huh?
Yeah.
No way. Okay. Then what
So
happened?
that. Then when they initially found his body there, well, I guess he had been taken away. I'm not sure. Like I said, if I could watch this trial every day, all day,
It's
I would.
okay. Keep going. Keep going. Stop the
So I
expose.
might be wrong, but I believe that they initially had found glass next to his body, not glass from a taillight. It was not plastic. It was glass from like a broken cup. And they were saying it could have come from inside the house, where they're alleging he never went in the house. But then they're saying they never did any, like they didn't get a search warrant. They didn't go into the house.
Dun, dun,
They're also alleging that there was a dog, a German Shepherd, that was very aggressive, documented aggressive, that could have inflicted some kind of fatal injury to this man, which the coroner did find some evidence to like that could support this from the initial autopsy. And that was like, I don't know if that was part of the first trial or not. I'm not sure about that. I was not really that invested in the first trial, but now I'm like so invested. Then they like the people who owned the house, which was a fellow police officer, I guess like him and like John who died. What's that his name? I forget his name. Sorry. I'm like
O'Keefe.
Yes.
O'Keefe.
I guess they had like some bad blood. There were some like things that were like not okay with him, and like he was not actually welcome at the house. Like they invite like a third party invited him to the home, but they were not welcoming to him. And like Karen, his girlfriend, said like, I know we're not welcome here. I'm going to drop you off and I'm going to leave because we weren't invited. We were invited by a third party. They don't like us. And then he goes, and like her version is he goes inside. Either the dog attacks him, they beat him up, or beat him so severely that he dies. They literally replaced the flooring that they had just replaced 3 months prior, like a couple weeks after this incident. They rehomed the dog and they sold the house all within like a few months after him dying. Yes. Then the one cop was fired for misconduct. They literally collected evidence in red Solo cups and like plastic bags from like a Shop and Save or something like that. I'm not exaggerating. This is like
this totally sounds like, what you would expect.
The evidence that they found of her broken taillight, they did not find it amongst all the other clear glass shards that they found the same day.
Did her vehicle have physical damage to it? I mean, just answer the question.
Allegedly, just the taillight was broken, and they didn't find that the taillight was broken until I think more than 24 hours later, when it was already in police custody. And
so let me get this straight. She backed up into him.
That's what the prosecution.
Okay, so is there any? Okay, my brain.
Video evidence of this too.
Okay, so what did the vehicle? What did the vehicle have a recording device? Well, then how is there video evidence? Is it like a Ring doorbell camera?
No, there's like a backup camera, and they're saying. I guess
that's what I just asked you.
Yes.
Does the vehicle have a recording? Okay, so the vehicle, and did it see him get struck?
So it doesn't. So the backup camera doesn't like keep a copy of the footage, but there is another camera from the house that shows her backing up and then pulling out.
This is like can I, Your Honor, Your Honor, Spear.
The witness is not
can I treat the witness like she's hostile, please?
Yes.
Just answer the fucking question. Seriously, Ames, do they have video of the car that she was driving hitting him? Yes or no?
There is video of her driving the car.
And
no, it doesn't show. It doesn't show. You can't see in the video if she hits anything. There is video of it, but it's dark. It's like I don't know, in the middle of the night, and it's snowing.
So the video is inconclusive. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So did they do forensics on the vehicle? Blood, hair, clothing samples, anything?
Yeah,
nothing.
They did all of that, and they don't have concrete evidence.
Did she stop by a Suds and Duds and wash her fucking vehicle? No, nothing like that. So they recreated her steps. Was she even available at the time? Does she have an alibi for the situation at all? Do you know?
She dropped him off at the house, and then she went home.
Oh, did anyone see her at home? Does she have a Ring doorbell camera of her being at home from those hours and that time when she was supposedly hit him?
Just his like they're not his stepkids. So he adopted his sister's children because she died and her husband died at different times. It's so like I feel so bad for those children. So he adopted
Dude,
those.
why is this chick on trial? Why is this is blowing me away? Like this is all circumstantial hogwash. There's no physical evidence.
That's why she wasn't convicted before. It was a hung jury.
Yeah, but she should have. But the jury shouldn't have been hung. The jury should have come back, and as long as if there's a reasonable doubt, she has to be proven innocent. That is the jury's responsibility. If there is a single shred of doubt, well, then what the fuck are they doing? Why are they hanging the jury? Who would it been?
They retried her.
See, that judge should have sent them back in there.
I think they're afraid of being I think they're afraid of having to prosecute the people who were in the home, which the majority of them were other police officers.
There is no way. There is no way you hit a human body and just break a taillight. Liv freaking hit a deer going 15 miles an hour and almost like destroyed the whole car.
Yeah.
Liv, what do you think? I'm interested. Is this like a Netflix special?
Yeah, I've never heard this, so this is very interesting.
And like the one girl, McCabe. Sorry, I gotta tell you this really quick. This girl,
yeah, no, I'm excited.
Google searched at 2:00 in the morning, which is when like it was shortly after there was video evidence of Karen dropping off her boyfriend at this party. There's like an hour later, this girl McCabe Googles how long for someone to die in the cold or something along that lines. But they're saying, oh no, that was at 6:30 a.m. when we went to look for him when we couldn't find him. And she's like, yeah, Karen told me to Google that because she saw like she found him like dead and was trying to like revive him herself and says, like Google how long it takes to die in the cold. But it was actually at 2:00 in the morning that the Google search was forensically proven to be done. So there's just so much. It sounds like such a conspiracy. That's why I'm so into this. I love it.
So it's all circumstantial evidence at this point.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
And the judge basically, after a 27-hour deliberation on literally a capital murder case.
Yep.
Because she covered it up. It's first degree. She's being charged with first degree murder, right? Or are they saying manslaughter? Because they want to be going through all. Yeah. It can't be manslaughter. They want to be going through. They would plea that shit down. So it's got to be first or second. It's probably second degree murder. So it's still it's not a capital offense in Boston because it's a liberal city. But it doesn't matter. This is a murder case. It's a national trial. Podcasts are done over this. This judge calls a hung jury in 27 hours. That's ludicrous. How many times did he send them back?
I think a lot. It was a lot. The first one was
27 hours. How much could it be?
The jury, okay, Google this because I might be wrong, but there was like 3 or 4 jurors that came out immediately and were like, no, we voted immediately. And we all came up to the same conclusion, not guilty of murder, like either charge. But there was some other lesser charge that they were hung up on. And that is why they were a hung jury. No one thought she was guilty of murder, but they wanted to retry her because they couldn't. I don't know if it was leaving the scene of a crime or whatever. I don't know what the other lesser charge was.
Well, because if you charge her of a lesser charge, see, and that's the thing, but it depends if they're trying her under one statute with lesser charges, that if one charge she's guilty of, then she's guilty of all. That can happen. It depends how the prosecutor sets the charges on how they're going to try her. So I haven't watched it. People are listen. I hear all you. I'm reading everything you guys say. People are getting mad. They're mad. We're telling you what's going. I want to hear it myself.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go watch that. I mean, we're watching Dexter right now.
I'm just curious as far as the autopsy report. Does it show his injuries are consistent with being hit by a vehicle or consistent?
No, they
with
said
being
it wasn't.
beat?
No,
Okay.
it's not conclusive of him being beaten, but there are injuries that you could say could have been caused by a 70-pound German Shepherd, or he could have sustained injuries from being in a fight, or he could have been hit by a car. Like because he was frozen.
Right. Like
basically, it was hard to tell like what yeah.
But blunt force traumas you're going to have capillaries blown. It doesn't matter how fucking cold it is. You're going to have forensic evidence that he was how he died. And honestly, freezing actually is going to preserve the wounds, preserve everything else. There's not going to be decomposition and bloating and everything else. So you ask any coroner, freezing the body would probably be one of the greatest things that you could possibly do in a crime scene. You don't want a fresh snow because that's going to take all the secondary evidence. But as far as the body, but here's the problem that I have is I want to know what he died of. Was it blunt force trauma to the head? Was it an embolism? Was it internal bleeding? That's what I want, the coroner's report. So who knows what he died from? Who can tell me, who's watched the show?
You know what? I don't know. I'm not even sure. I'm so into the conspiracy. I'm not sure if he died from hypothermia or if he died from injuries. I think it's from hypothermia, to be perfectly honest. But I could be completely wrong. It could be totally wrong. Oh, and
Okay.
Karen was
this-
like allegedly drunk too that night. So
Yeah. Is this trial like the one where that I can't remember her name, but she was charged with murdering her boyfriend in the shower?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
she wore glasses for her trial
Yeah,
to
that
make her
chick-
look all
that
innocent
chick
and
was
stuff like
nuts.
that.
Yeah.
She was nuts, but it
I
sounds
mean,
like this is way up there with this.
like on the finger scale, you know. But they showed videos of her on his phone of her nude, and that thing is angry. What it's like, it looks like bat wings. It's you get lost in there. Kill 'em all. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Right
people
to
love
offend.
Karen Reed.
Hold on a second. Right to offend, conspiracy, retaliation, failure to report, excessive for. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you? I mean, are we just getting a law dictionary? And I don't know what you're talking about. Help me out, buddy. What are you talking about? Blunt force bleeding out in ice. Blunt force trauma to the head. So he very well could have been backed up on and clipped by the bumper, or clipped by the backside of the vehicle and had head trauma. I mean, it's possible, right? I mean, come on, y'all.
They were saying so they did like the forensic analysis of how tall he was with the car that she drove, like a Lexus, I think. So like they did all this like with the heights and all that, and they're like, it's not like, of course the defense is like, this is not mathematically possible for him
Of
to
course
die.
it is. Of course it
and
is.
she wasn't like backing up she was going, backing up at a normal person's.
Yeah, but was she there? Was she there?
Yeah, she was there. She admits
Oh.
it. She was there. She dropped him off.
Okay.
Is there any damage to the vehicle
the broken
besides
taillight?
a broken? I would
That's the
assume.
question.
I would
It's a
assume that if you hit a person hard enough to kill them with your vehicle, you're gonna have more damage
Not really.
than. I mean, look at what the deer did to the car.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. But if the deer got hit in the head, and it hit him really on the side of the face or his nose, you're not going to have that much damage. It depends on the speed. Okay, let's be honest with you.
She was not fast. Just look up the video. I'm sure you can pull up the video online of her backing.
I'm you guys. This is a topic we're not talking about, and we're discussing together based upon questions. I'm not going to do a forensic audit of this online. I'm just trying to understand. Okay, so her name's Karen Reed. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, her name's Karen, so you know she did it. I'm kidding. And then O'Keefe.
Did she claim to complain to the manager before or after? That would be the
Very
right answer.
likable. She's pretty. She's likable. She's well spoken.
She looks pretty.
Yeah, she's like.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she can't be a crazy snatch either.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, she admits like they were fighting. They almost broke up. Like she's like, but she's being forthcoming about everything. She's not hiding. Like, oh no, we were perfect. No, she's like, no, we were fighting that night. Like we got into an argument. Like she felt terrible. She's not like trying to cover.
Yeah.
Anything.
I'm not saying she is. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a conspiracy. I do.
All right. I'm just trying to get an autopsy. Trying to get the autopsy report. Now, this is like, you guys, what was that show we watched? How to make a murderer or something?
Oh, how to
yeah, that guy was guilty as fuck.
yeah.
Cops didn't set him up. And everybody's like, oh my God, the cops set him up. And I'm like, you're idiots. Then he went and killed again and did it again. This guy was guilty as fuck. So a lot of the times these shows only show you, it's the Great Gambino. Speaking of My Cousin Vinny, it's a Great Gambino. They show you the side of the card, the front of the card, but they don't show you, this is a card. It's like a brick and it's thick. And then you turn to the side, it's anorexic thin. Come on. Autopsy of Boston police officer determined that his death resulted from blunt impact injuries to the head and hypothermia. However, the manner of death, whether accidental homicide or otherwise, was officially listed as undetermined. Blunt force trauma. Sustained multiple skull fractures. Okay, that's a little bit different. Facial lacerations and injuries to the back of his head and nose. Okay. Sounds like he was run over. Sounds like his head was run over.
But it wasn't.
You don't know that. They just said they didn't know that. They don't know that. What do you mean it wasn't? How do you know that it wasn't?
Because if you watch the video, it's just like a quick like in and out. Like it's not like back up, back up, back up. She just like backs up and goes right away. Like there's no like bumps. The car doesn't go like bump bump or like it's just a
It doesn't
back
mean
up.
she didn't do it later, right? I mean that's what I was asking. If it
Oh
doesn't
no, they have
show,
all the ring footage. So they have all the outside ring footage, and she never
okay,
comes back. So no,
okay,
it's just a back up and out.
but it is showing like 8-ball hemorrhages in his eyeballs. So both eyeballs were sealed shut, skull fractures, facial lacerations, and that is a massive force of trauma to swell that fast, that quickly, especially in hypothermic conditions. So I'm assuming that it was like what, 16 degrees, 15 degrees, 10 degrees, something like that, 20 degrees.
There's been an
Cold.
argument about that in court. They're talking
Liv, would
about
you?
the
Well, we can
airports.
find out. Go look up the weather real quick.
No,
When was
so
the date?
so they were talking about that for like hours today when I tuned in for like a few minutes, but I can't listen all day. So I only get to listen to like 15, 20 minutes. But they were talking about, maybe it was yesterday, like what the temperature at the airport was versus like this. And yes, it was cold. It was a they called it not a whiteout condition, like heavy snowfall, but it was after he was like already allegedly in the snow. There's just
Is it
so
possible that this guy got shit-faced, passed out, and somebody else ran him over? I mean,
no.
all right, Liv, look up all right, I got it. Temperatures ranging from a low of 4 degrees to a high of 52 during the month. January 29th fell into the 20s as the snow ended from the southern, southwest, northeastern for the morning and midday hours. This is interesting. I'm going to watch it. I'll tell you my thoughts. And I don't do any of this middle of the road shit. Like Olivia will tell you, I'm like, he's guilty. She's guilty. And 9 out of 10 times I'm right. I've got the mind of my uncle. So it's interesting. Liv, what do
I
you
don't
think?
think she's guilty.
You don't think she's guilty?
I would need to watch it. I would need to look up and
No, I
actually
know,
research
but
it doesn't sound like she's guilty right now. It sounds like there's circumstantial evidence, and the fact that there was the internet search about how long it takes to free somebody, and she said it was at 6:30 in the morning, and it turns out it was at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
The replacing of the floor, even though it was just done 3 months earlier, and then selling the house, and it just sounds
Rehoming
little-
the dog.
yeah.
they have a video of him and her at the bar that night. He may have already fallen and she ran over him. That's what I was thoughts. Is that, is there a chance? Is there any chance? Was he drinking? James, I had to make sure you watch the first trial. I got, my God, people. Yes. Really? I can't read the end of the book without reading the beginning. Fuck. Really? Are you sure? Okay, I'll watch the first one first. Damn it, Liv, we have to break order. I always thought we watched Return of the Jedi, then Empire, then... Of course I'm going to watch the first trial first. But I'm not going to be this, well, I don't know. It could be. Make a decision. She's either innocent or she's guilty.
I think she's innocent.
Well, she's innocent, obviously, because you can't convict her without a doubt.
I genuinely think she's innocent. I do not think she killed him. I really don't. My gut feeling says no, she did. And initially, when I heard this story years ago, and I didn't watch the first trial, I didn't care. But when I heard about it,
she's like, no. Well, I mean, you're the one who's just saying dumb shit. Of course, I'm going to watch the whole thing. Do I strike you as a person who isn't thorough? Come on now.
yeah, no, I don't think
watch.
she's guilty at all.
All right.
I think that something happened inside of that house. Oh, because there's also all these like.
God.
There's all these butt dials between the people who allegedly could have murdered him, and that they're claiming that they were not like, oh, I didn't even know I called that person, because they lied about all these things. All the other people who could have killed him are all lying, and they're all
right,
related. They're all married to each other and brothers and
great.
sisters.
So what's the conspiracy? Is that's the conspiracy? Is that they're cops and she's not? Well, what about their loyalty to O'Keefe? Was he like was he like a CID informant or something? Was he like a hated cop, or why would they roll on him? Okay, tell me.
Like him. I don't know why.
How do you know this? How do you know they didn't like him? Did you take a poll or something?
Yeah, they're talking about how even when Karen was saying, no, we weren't invited, and this is like so-and-so's house and they don't like us. Are you sure we're welcome? And he's like, yeah, we're welcome. And she's like, well, I'm not going to go because I don't trust these people. It's openly known that
all right, we're going to watch it tonight. Screw it. We're done with Dexter. Here's the problem that I have with this is that you guys, like a lot of people did this with How to Make a Murderer. And they're like, oh my God, they're detectives and they were going after this poor guy. That guy was fucking guilty, hands down. And I called that halfway through the episode and then he killed again. And I'm like, dude, you guys, come on. It's like, no, but this one, they framed him again. It's like, you guys suck. You just can't admit you're wrong. This is not that, right? I'm not going to watch this and at the end go, dude, you guys are missing a huge piece of evidence.
No, and you don't have to watch the first trial because I didn't, but I know the grand jury testimony, so you have to at least know that. I think.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get obsessed with this.
Okay,
Liv, are you excited about this?
Yes, and somebody tried to call in, says they're getting a message.
Oh, well, because it's not on. Oh, it's gonna be Melanie.
No, it was Rachel from Rumble. She's been watching the trial.
Okay, Rachel, it's on.
So she knows way more than me. So I would love to watch it.
Listen, I don't want to spend the rest on this, but oh my God, is that really the only donation we have tonight?
Yes.
$5.
Yep, that's it.
We're leaving.
Nothing.
Rachel, don't call in. We're leaving.
Nothing.
I can't stay on for this. Yeah, Amy, you're fired.
That might be the problem. It's
I don't understand. I don't know what it is, but my God, can you flash your boobs or something for $100? All right, I'm teasing.
No one wants to see that.
I don't know. It's better than first of all, I appreciate the $5. That is absolutely 100% Thomas. I appreciate the $5. Second, I'd rather see boobs than $5. I'm just saying. Okay, so I'm waiting for the call in.
Yeah, I am too because
he said, "Come on, dummies, help out."
How in the fuck do we only have a $5 donation for this show?
Bobby's not here.
Bobby's not here. Where's Bobby?
I don't know. I haven't seen her.
Oh, hope everything's okay.
But
seriously,
we shouldn't have to rely on Bobby every night.
We do. It's insane. Like it's absolutely insane. Gerald reached out to me today. I hope she's okay. This shit happens multiple times a day. What happened?
They've got to be talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm waiting for. Is someone calling in, Liv?
I don't know. Rachel, you gone in?
JD says I disagree. I disagree about what?
They're probably on a big old thing.
I know, but I want to know. This is what I do, right? I know, but this is what I do. I talk to the people. So I'm trying to get
ask ChatGPT if Karen Reed is guilty or not.
No, because it doesn't have the cognitive ability to do that. It doesn't. It doesn't have.
Mallory says, "Tell Amy to cuss again. It worked last time." Okay, I will. If you guys want me to cuss for $100, I will say whatever.
I will let you know. Right now, we've lost $145 on this show. That's insane. I thought it would be double jeopardy having a retrial for the same charge. Not if it's a hung jury.
Yeah, they have to be actually charged with it.
Hung jury is not a mistrial. Doesn't mean automatic acquittal. They beat his drunk ass and threw him out in the snow. To be honest, alcohol in the system, cold temps. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. It would make sense. Okay, she's not going to call. So
I don't know.
I'm going to move on then.
Okay.
Because we've got to somehow find a way to make goal. My God, I'm like, listen, I can understand, but that's.
We even started on time today.
I'm just like, swing low, sweet chariot.
And I will cuss for money if y'all do. I will say whatever.
Dude, we shouldn't have to beg. Like now, I'm starting to worry about the May 16th show. Like,
no, everyone's saving up for that.
I don't think that's true. I don't believe that because people. I don't. Like I'm getting really nervous. Like really fucking nervous. I'm still nervous. Thank you, Joanne Lutman, for an amazing donation. Thank you, but I'm still really nervous.
I don't think you should.
That's a huge donation. So thank you, Joanne.
But you understand that if we don't continue to make goal, then the May 16th show is useless.
Exactly.
Because we're going to have to use the May 16th money to pay.
To make up for what we haven't made in goal for the last couple of weeks.
Couple weeks?
Well, it's been a long, slow month.
It's been a bad month.
April was a crappy month.
April and May have not been good. It's been hard. It's been hard.
Can I just say, though, I don't think it's just us. I think it's just across the nation right now. I mean, we've seen a tremendous change in like real estate and whatnot. So
yeah. No, listen.
Still going. But.
Don't. You're not helping. You're not helping. You're giving people a reason. Oh yeah, we are. She's right. You know, things are great right now. Everyone should be. Let me tell you about the art of the deal, Amy.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Listen, it's $300, but it's not one night. It's
Uh,
multiple nights.
She tried calling and then her internet went out, so she must have an
Damn it.
internet-based phone.
Maybe people want to hear other news because they don't follow this case. Well, but you shouldn't have to pay me for the news, right?
Right.
And you shouldn't have to pay me and feel like you owe me for covering a topic you like or don't like. But it's only been 20 minutes. So I hear you, Maddie, but not everything is going to tickle your pickle. You know what I mean? So stick around and it'll get better. Matt and host, what are your thoughts about the DOJ pedophile? Oh, we got too much stuff to do. I got to stick on topic. If people can't reach $300 in one night, I think the other goal is going to be impossible to achieve. I agree with you, Ginger. I think we're in deep shit.
If everybody could give $2 right now.
No.
everyone's on.
I'm talking about May 16th. I'm with Ginger. I think we're in deep trouble for May 16th because I
it's gonna
don't
be
see how we're gonna do it. You know, if she's right. If we can't hit $5, $10 donations, then there's no way we're gonna be able to hit $10,000 in a night. I'm just
can
nervous
ask-
as hell.
Are we asking our guests like to donate too? Because I feel like some of them might have some deep pockets.
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't know. Oh, okay. We're humor. No, we're not doing humor right now. Sorry, humor is off the table. I'm nervous. Like we're putting a lot of work into this, and there's nobody does this. Can anyone name a channel who's had a lineup like this?
No.
In one night.
I can't think of a channel who's done this. So, Killmall says, gave you material to cover. You'd be the first to cover it, negative or positive. The whole story needs to get out there. I don't know what you're talking about, Killmall. So help me, dude. I understand every legal term you put on, but I don't know what it's referencing. So if you want me to teach a clinic in prosecutorial law, I think that's already being done. Yeah, that's being done in a lot of schools across the land. If you want me to talk about something, all we got to do is just tell me exactly what you're talking about, and I'll help you. I'd give you something, but no. This isn't a time for everyone to apologize. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we've got 134 on legacy media and another 100 and something on the other. That's 235 people, and I see a lot of names in here. But I'm just like, if we can't hit $5 and we're an hour and 20 minutes in, we're in some serious trouble. That's my point. So don't apologize. Don't. That's all
Loretta
I'm
even
saying.
says graduations, proms, Mother's Day. It's a lot.
I get it. Don't Unfriend Me Show has to survive. We've got to keep it going. And, we'll find a way. I'm just letting you know it's going to be really hard on the 16th if we can't find a way to hit that. And honestly, I'm just excited about the show. If we don't hit it, I'm not going to be upset. My hopes are like here. I truly believe that because just the show alone, I think is going to be awesome. And
Just the fact that we get to meet.
Yeah, and if we got to be in this room for
Tonto.
another year, then we're in this room for another year. So what?
Should I come over that night, by the way, instead of broadcasting from here?
I think we need to have a meeting with all of us on the phone.
It doesn't matter.
Before.
We can talk about it.
So we know.
We're going to. It's all going to play exactly like it should. Okay, can we get going?
Yes.
Yes.
So going into, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm a pessimist optimist, right? So I see both sides, and it's just, it depends on what day it is. Like a week ago, I was like, we're going to crush it. Now I'm like, oh God, we're in deep trouble. Maybe it's the $5 hour and a half. Maybe that's it. Thank you for the donation, CJ. Hi guys, we love you. Thank you.
CJ.
No,
you.
but that's two people, and I love them for it. Well, okay. I was going to make a point. That's two people who carried 99% of the donation, and I would love to see 30 of them at $5 versus one or two people going big. You know what I mean? Because those people carry a lot of the load, and it's hard. It is real. This is why I fucking hate donations, and I really do kind of want to sell out because you don't want to ask, but you have to, because if you don't, you just forget about it and it doesn't happen. And then at the end of the night, you're like, oh shit, you know what? So appreciate it. People, you don't need to kill yourselves over this and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't want that. What I'm saying is if we have 250 people on, if everyone gave $1.50, we hit it like that. So that's my point, is that if you watch the show for 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week, and you watch it 50 hours a month, in my opinion, is that worth a Netflix subscription? Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Loretta, if that donation you're mailing in is for, you want it specifically for the show, please let me know when in the notate it or send me an email so I know to hold it for that day.
That's all you got to do is tell us. All right, let's go.
Wait, so
No,
quickly,
but Rachel,
Loretta.
Rachel says some people may be holding their donation for the big show. That's right. But that hurts because the shows cost to run, right? And it's not cheap. So if and this isn't me, this is Chuck Peterson who's saying it, who's matching it. He's like, guys, if we all hold donations and don't give a little something, then all they're going to do is when they have the big show, they're going to take that and have to make up for all the deficit. That's the point we're trying to make. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Can we move on? Good.
Yes.
All right.
Just one more quick thing there, Loretta. I just want to congratulate Loretta. It's her 45th anniversary on Saturday. And that's
Congratulations.
so congrats to that.
Yeah.
And I hope you make another 45 years.
I thought we were going to talk about donations again. So I was like, I don't want to talk about donations. Is it raining again? Why do you come in here with wet fur, dog? All right, let's rock and roll. Kill 'em all says, tried to donate, won't let me. Messaging getting deleted as well. Nobody's deleting your message, dude. Yeah, I've seen 6 of your messages. I have them here. Five. They're all right here, and they're still up in chat. I'm looking at all of them. I'm going to give you proof. People do this all the time. You guys are censoring me. Nobody's censoring you. There's 2 of them right there. See? I got it. It's right here. And then I got the other one, which is right here. See? There it is. They're all right there. And if you tried to donate, it would allow you to donate. TheDumbShow.com/donate. Okay. Salt Lake City just made the LGBTQ flags officially city flags.
Oh my
Wait, what?
In
God.
order to circumvent the state's ban on the flag in government buildings. So Utah passed legislation to ban the flag in government locations. So they went ahead and made it a part of their state flag. Listen to this.
Each and every resident to look up at any flag that flies at City Hall and be reminded that their community values belonging and acceptance, and that their community values every one of them. Let the Sago Lily send a simple but powerful message. Salt Lake City is here for you. We believe in you, and we love you. I want each and every.
So, in order to get past the statewide ban,
I'm so confused.
they have officially, in order to circumvent the state's ban on the flags in government buildings, they get her away. They just made the LGBTQ flag officially the city flags. So these are now the flags of the city. So by using them that way, they can say, well, these are protected because these are our city flags.
horrible.
What about the people who are not a part of that community? What message is that sending?
And what about the people? I mean, wasn't this like the religion in this area? Like you couldn't drink caffeine at one point.
Exactly. I mean,
But you can go ahead and pork your brother in the butt. I don't understand these people. Like Utah used to be conservative. I don't know what happened. Like I'm stoked for the Utah hockey team. They're going to be called the Mammoth, and their new unis are amazing. But you know what? I can't stand this woke shit. What is going on in Utah? I mean, they're saying it's gonna become a liberal city that's no longer going to be conservative.
That's.
Can we get
I'm just curious as to why they thought that singling out one minority group of people and modeling their entire city flag after that minority group, how does that bring unity across the board? Wouldn't you just keep your same city flag and just say like, hey, we like everybody here. We don't care what part of we don't care where you are on which community you belong to. Like nobody cares. Just stop with the freaking crap. Like just nobody cares. I don't care what you do at your house. I don't want to see it in the streets. I don't want to see it at my local coffee shop. I don't want to see I don't do PDA in public. I don't want to see yours. I don't want to see anybody's. Just be normal. Just be normal. I don't
I'm
care.
just, I mean,
Did the people vote on this? That's what I want to
no,
know.
it's city council.
Of course. No, that means it's city council.
Right.
People didn't vote.
Right. It's the same thing they did with the child sex books in Virginia. And the city council puts it through. So, you know, my problem is Mormons. You guys are openly mocked for your religion. And now you're really going to get mocked. Like I said, magic underwear, no caffeine, can't listen to anyone but Donnie and Marie Osmond for your music. And now this, I mean, God, what the hell are you thinking? What's Pat Boone going to do? Oh, wait, he's Jewish. Paul Rivera, just a little more. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. I hate donations. Can I tell you how much I hate it? I love this show when I didn't have to worry about it. I don't like this shit. I don't want it.
Facebook.
I don't want to do donations. I am so sick of it. I can't wait Wimkin to hit their fentanyl test, and then we will never have to. I mean, Jason's already said it. He's like, you guys will never have to worry about money again. So he's like, if we get these fentanyl tests picked up, you don't Unfriend Me will never have to worry about money again. And he means all of us. Donnie Carter donated $10.80. Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thanks,
girls.
Donnie.
Thank you, everybody, boys and girls. This is so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm thinking. This is what you do. You vote out that city council, and they should do a giant dong flag. Just a big
I'm
12-inch fleshy dong, and just be like, you
Like a
guys are a bunch
3D
of
flag.
the 3D flag with a giant dong on it. They just no
Like
one
one
that
of those
you know what
people that does
one that
like the-
blows up. Right.
Yeah.
It just does this like the flying man. Just a dong. It just goes. You guys are a bunch of douche plows. Utah.
I would vote for that for here, please. That's
Here's
I hope they get a recall on the city council or they all get voted out.
not just that, but here's the thing. I like we can never live in Colorado again, but I honestly thought about moving to Utah and traveling for games and such because it would be not anymore.
yeah, no.
I can see it's no longer showing. Forget it. Just ignore it like the rest of the. Okay, whatever, dude. Kill them all.
So confused.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, so yeah, whatever. Ignore an 11 Bravo. I know a lot of 11 Bravos, dude. So you were in infantry in the army. Great, congratulations. So were hundreds of thousands of other people, and I have respect for every veteran. But I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Like literally, I have no idea what you're talking about. So if you need a buddy, find your battle buddy, find your swim buddy. If you need someone to talk to, I'm your guy. But I don't know what you're talking about. So you can't hold me accountable for what you want from me because I don't know what you're saying. I truly have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Democrat Colorado State Senator Chris Calker. Hey, Brian donated $21.10. Come on, people, donate. Come on, people, now smile on your brother. Get this. This is Colorado. I was just talking about this. I can't move there either. Defending a new radical transgender bill, saying he will one day stand before TransJesus. Thank you, Brian. Again.
Nope, it's
Just
doing
fix it.
it's yep,
Just
it's
fix it.
doing its thing.
Yeah, you fix that. We need every dollar. We can't double up.
Yep.
This is Democrat Colorado State Senator Chris Calker mocks Christians, saying that he is one day going to stand in front of TransJesus. I have a feeling Amy is going to go off. Just a gut reaction. Here is the video.
All right, refresh the total.
I will.
I'm accountable to Almighty God. I'm accountable to Almighty God because I'm standing up for equality. That my decisions one day, I will stand before him and be accountable. Well, this is what I believe. You ever seen that movie, Talladega Nights? And you see that section where they're talking around the dinner table and they're talking about what their favorite version of Jesus is. All right, baby Jesus. I love baby Jesus. And the guy goes, well, I love Leonard Skinner Jesus when angels are behind him and the choir is singing and he's playing Freebird. Well, my day of judgment, I might be standing in front of TransJesus. I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
I have
I believe.
I have a good feeling
You're not going to be standing in front of Jesus.
You're in
And I
some trouble.
believe that Jesus, God, will look at me and say, you stood up for people. You stood up for those who were less fortunate who struggle, you may pass. You may enter. I encourage an aye vote.
That's pretty presumptuous, big guy.
Less fortunate, it costs a fortune to get those freaking drugs. You're to keep the hormones balanced, and if you want the sex change and you want to get, it's freaking a lot of money. They're not less fortunate. They have the money.
Dude, you're quoting Talladega Nights. I mean, dude, idiocracy is here in full. I mean, Brondo, it's what plants crave. Electrolytes. I mean, we're there. We're here. TransJesus. Who cares? Trans people, human rights are trans rights. Derpy derp, because they're human. No shit. All lives matter. You're racist. What? I am so sick of hearing about trans people. I really am. I am so fucking tired of hearing about less than 1.2% of the entire population on the planet. It's just like the Jews. I don't fucking care. Yep. If the Jews have this much power when they represent 0.6% of the entire planet, then they earned it. Go ahead, Amy. TransJesus, are you excited? Do you think he's wearing pumps?
So I will say this. I think that God has a good sense of humor. I think that he is all about fun and laughter. But there's a couple very serious places in the Bible where it says God is not to be mocked.
Oh, yeah.
And in those instances, those people had to deal with some of the most horrible wrath of God and his will. Now, I'm not God, so I can't judge this man, but I take it as him mocking God. I don't know. I mean, I'm not God, but I would take it as that way. This is not funny. The dear Lord, baby Jesus, that's funny. That's not mocking God. You have baby Jesus, you have, 30-year-old Jesus, you have Jesus on the cross. There are different versions, and I don't pray to baby Jesus because it's weird to pray to a baby, but
right, but not a patron saint.
We don't pray to the saints.
Yeah, you do. Moving on. We've already done this. We're not doing it again. We're not doing it again. We're not doing it again.
It's fine.
Okay,
I'm right, and it's okay. It's okay.
You can say whatever you want. It doesn't make it real.
Yeah.
Listen, I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong.
Right. I'm praying for you, okay?
That's right. Yeah. Pray to TransJesus. Let me know how it works out.
I'm gonna start praying to the TransJesus to see how many of my prayers come true. I will pray for all the trans rights to come true to TransJesus. So I mean, trans rights. Like what right? What? It's just very confusing. They're people. Can we just, again, I don't care how you want to live your life. I don't need to see it. And I really don't care how you live your life. I just don't expect me to use your pronouns all the time because I might mess up because you look like a dude sometimes. And some men do look like women. And I'm probably going to be duped by that and go like miss or late, whatever, and that's fine. I don't care. I just don't care.
Why do you need my validation? Why are you so insecure with your own decision of not accepting who you are that you need me to confirm it for you? I don't care.
Nope.
I think you're stupid.
Yep.
Okay. But you know what? I get it. Women's underwear is sexy as hell. I see my wife in them and I'm like, yeah, baby. Right? You make me horny, baby. Yeah, absolutely. It's shagadelic. I'm there. I'm with you. But do I want to wear them? I don't know. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. But I'm not going to go ahead and tell you that you have to accept that. Matt, I want to show you I'm wearing my wife's underwear and it's completely liberating. Will you tell me how wonderful I am? Can you tell me I'm a woman? No, because you're not. You're a freak. And there's nothing wrong with being a freak, but you can only be a freak in the bedroom. In your own bedroom. And my kids don't need to know. And I don't need to know. My church doesn't need to know. My city council doesn't need to know. The flag doesn't need to know. Just keep it in your fucking pants. So sick of this. And yes, I totally wear women's underwear.
Of course you can.
Rachel Orlando, there we go. $1.50. Thank you for always for your show. That's what I'm talking about. Even $1.50. It makes a difference. And you're like, it's only $1.50. Yes, but the power is in the numbers, right? That's why we have AR-15s with 30-round mags, not 5-round mags and 10-round mags. Power in numbers. AR-15 is a pretty useless fucking rifle, but with 30 rounds, it becomes formidable. $1.50. If every single person gave $1.50, we would, or someone does that, like Mel Lowe, and crushes with a $51.99, we can start making some real impact on our goal. Now we're talking.
Yes. Thank you, everybody who donated.
Sue said, good Lord, Matt. Listen, Liv, have you ever caught me wearing your underwear?
No, but you work from home and I work out of the house, so I don't see it all day.
The answer just could have been no.
You just talk about it a lot, Matt. So we're just, I mean, you've brought it up, I think, 3 times in this show. So we're just saying.
You're right. You know what? It's a good point. If it was actually twice. It was twice.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, because 3 times is a habit. 2 times is a coincidence. Honestly, the first thing I wanted to say about Olivia would have outed my wife, and I didn't want to do that. Like some of the things I text her. I mean, because if you ever saw our text strings, trust me when I say this, they are not PG-13. I mean, yeah. And you think I'm bad. She'll randomly send me some shit. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, did you just check to see if the kids were in the room?
The kids I watch can't read, so it's not like I'm not sending pictures.
Talking about my kids. You know what Hayden does? When I'm on the phone like this, here's Hayden.
Exactly.
If she sees that text,
You
she's
know
going to be
what?
forever scarred.
Guess what? If she's reading our texts and trying to sneak this, she kind of deserves it.
Thomas says, Matt, did your computer overheating damage it any? No, we're running smooth as a baby's ass. Kevin, thanks, buddy.
I missed the witty comments and stuff on your donations, Kevin.
Yeah, Kev, come get to work.
Yeah, Kev.
We love you, Kev. No, the computer's good. We found out that it's a couple things. The camera, we think, is an older version and might need a software update. If it doesn't, we're going to send that over Leroy's way. And then I'm going to pick up I need to pick up 2 new ones anyway for the show. So, folks, let me explain the donations quickly, 10 seconds, and then I'll shut up. It's not the money. It's that we're putting on a good show and you're enjoying it. That's the real, of course it's money. Of course we've got bills to pay. We got to keep the lights on. But when we're not getting donations, I feel like our show sucks. And I take that very responsibly and personally. And it brings me down. So I don't like asking. Like I told you, the nights that I love are when we come on and donations are just like, bim, 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 and we're done. And then I don't have to talk about it the rest of the night, like right now. Next video after this.
The DUM Show is hosting a night built on something real. No filters, no corporate sponsors, no gatekeepers. It started with a simple offer. A longtime supporter asked what it would take to build a real studio, a place where conversations stay honest, not bought and sold. He didn't just ask. He promised to match every dollar donated that night up to $10,000. The call went out and the right people answered. Chris Tonto Peronto, Benghazi hero who fought through the night when leadership abandoned them. Roseanne Barr, the voice Hollywood tried to erase but never could. Laura Logan, the journalist who exposed corruption and never blinked. They're not coming for a paycheck. They're coming because the fight for truth is still worth showing up for. And they're joined by T.S. Dixon, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein, Lisa Regina, Ryan Samuels, and Jason Shepard. One night, one shot to show that real voices still matter. Follow along at the DUM
You're pretty, Liv.
Show and get all the details at thedumshow.com. The race to 20K starts.
You're pretty too, Amy.
Now. Be part of it.
So Thomas says, send out a cost for them. Maybe we can get them for you. May 16th. There it is. That's when we can do it. So listen.
Trying to get her to jump so everyone can see her.
We love you guys. We appreciate you. We're going to do fine. I don't care. If we hit goal, we hit goal. If we don't, we'll stay right here. We don't care. I just want to keep doing this for as long as we can until we get to a place where that's it. And I know I got a really good feeling it's coming. I really do. I believe that Jason Shepard is doing great things with fentanyl and the test kits, and I think those things are going to take off. And if he gets that contract, it's hundreds of millions of dollars, literally. And Jason takes care of his people. He does. So, yeah. And if that doesn't happen, maybe something else will happen. If that doesn't happen and something else happens, it's never going to be about getting rich again for me, ever. And let's face it, we're not going to get rich $300 a night. It's not going to happen. It's about continuing to push so we can hit our goals and continuing to survive. Amy, your thoughts on that, and then we'll move on.
Totally agree. And yeah, absolutely. It's not the reason we started the show. Like this isn't we didn't do it for the money.
Nope.
But it is a necessity. It's not like we all have multi-million-dollar jobs every day and then we can just like foot the bill for the production costs because it does cost real money.
We did that. I did that for almost 3 years. 3 years, I didn't ask for $1. People, I'm not kidding. I had people offer $50,000 to help out the show. I'm not kidding you. One of our good people at the diner who offered to, he's like, just tell me the number, whatever you need. And I'm like, oh, bro, you can't do that. And he's like, what's the number? And I'm like, oh, dude, whatever. Like, you know, I could go ahead and just throw out a number and tell you what I need. And he's like, 25,000, 50, 100. What do you need? And dead seriously, he's a guy in town who can afford it. And I said, we'll do it on our own. And we were making good money. Huh?
Is he going to watch on the 16th though and donate? Because that'd be cool.
Yeah, is.
It should be. Yeah.
All right. Somebody's calling on the phone. Who is it? What do you want to talk about?
It's Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Hi, Mel.
How's
your arm?
Can you get your advertising guy, the wonderful guy with the wonderful British accent, to do in your promos and whatever about the $1, $2 donation thing in that promo?
Yeah.
Because it needs to go out that not everybody has to, carry the water per se to make sure that you guys can keep the lights on and blah, whatever. But to let the viewers on all the channels know that $1, $2, $5 is like it is. It's and put that in the promo. Maybe.
I like that idea.
That's a good idea.
Honestly, I was thinking of doing something else. I know a person called Destiny who dances at the Diamond Cabaret, and I think she would do well by explaining how $1 at a time makes her, like $30,000 a month, and she can come on and she'd be like, "Hi, this is Diamond from the Diamond Cabaret. I wanted to let you know that
I thought her name was Destiny.
Whatever. Who gives a shit? The point is, it's a lie. So just go with a lie." But I agree. I'll do my British guy to do it. Now, remember, I had a woman do one, and everyone revolted. Everyone's like, she sounds like a housekeeper. So I will have my British guy do that. I like that idea. And
that's a very good idea.
I think, like for the May 16th show, if everyone can do $20, we'll crush it. I believe.
And that's what he needs, and you guys need to do is push, so it's the smaller whatever, because I know people see and it gets intimidating, and that everybody who watches your show is on the dollar spectrum, that from zero to a lot of bucks. So, and they rely on, a lot of people to fill the well, but if everybody, and then they can feel like they can participate too. And $1, and that's what I tried to do a couple of weeks ago, starting going, hey, meet and greet, or, meet or beat me for $2. Just so that it's not $2. You spend more on a coffee than the $2.
Right.
So
True.
Yeah.
I get the point. How's your arm?
Okay. Well, I'm hopefully in 2 sleeps. I get my short cast on, and then I can be alive again.
Good.
I illegally drove my car today because I went to my corner store and got stuff. But yeah, well, I have to start my car.
Don't run over anybody, because we heard that doesn't do very well, especially in Massachusetts. So.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
after a month, I'm just. But anyways, Friday at 11 o'clock my time. Hopefully, I'll get my short cast, and then I'm good to go again.
Great.
Yeah.
And you'll be ready for the
But
show.
yeah, but that was my comment.
All right.
It was just to get your British guy to push the $1, $2, $5 donate, like whatever.
Yep.
It's important.
It is important, and we have the one audio segment that talks about donations, but I think people get used to it. But I will start doing it, and we love you and appreciate you. And I'm going to go because we got a lot to cover in the next 30 minutes.
Love it.
Bye.
Bye.
We should have one of the kids do it. Have Ethan do it.
Have like little Tim.
Yeah,
could
have
I
Ethan
have
do.
some more, please?
Totally, Ethan would do it.
All right.
Or
we
Hayden.
got to get going. Enough on donations. I hate talking about this shit. I really do. This kid, and I'm going to say kid. Thank you, Kat, from your favorite non-feline. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks,
See,
Kat.
just a little bit makes the world go round. Here is just very astute. I saw this earlier today, and it's so simple. And this is exactly why Democrats will never, ever understand. Listen to this.
And when I told the president, you have this secret weapon, he said, what's the secret weapon? Well, I said, our strategy to keep Gen Z's vote is simple. It's this new novel concept in politics called actually doing what you campaigned on doing and keeping your promises to the voters. And I said, this is this out-of-the-box thinking in politics. I know it's unheard of, but that's exactly why Gen Z is moving more to the right day by day. And it's amazing to see. The president called Gen Z the greatest generation last night in a speech. And as I went to walk out, he said, are they playing good music in there? I said, sir, I've been in this holding room backstage, but I know I did hear the YMCA earlier. He said, that's my favorite song. And he started doing his little dance. So it was a cool moment.
Looks like you also may have straightened your tie out a little bit there.
By the way, the flag above is Flags of Valor, Freedom Flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just FYI.
Who's
I
this
don't
kid anyway?
I don't know who it doesn't matter. The point is he's smart, and he's absolutely right. And this is why Democrats are always going to be behind the eight ball, because they can't seem to understand. His name is Brilliant Hollyhand.
That's
his name.
That's
His name is weird, but his message is amazing. Oh yeah, he's outstanding. You can find him. It's Brilyn Hollyhand, HOLLYHAND. He
Maybe
sounds
it's
like
Brillin.
Who gives a shit? I don't know. I'm just telling you his name. I don't know him.
I don't know him either. I'm just.
God, I don't care. It's Lynn, Bri or Bry-Lynn. Oh, who? It could be Brillin. It could be Brylan. It could be Brylian. Who cares? He's got a weird name. I don't know what it is. Here, I'll put it up. You pronounce it. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. Brylan?
It's Brylan.
Brylan. Yeah. Brylan.
What? Brilliant. But with Holy Hand, it sounds English.
It does.
Brilliant. Because Brilliant is an English name. And Holy
Interesting.
Hand. So Brilliant Holy Hand. I don't think it's Brylan.
It is Brylan.
You don't know that. It
Brylan.
depends. Holy Hand. Look it up. It probably is Brylan, but Brilliant is an English name. Holy Hand, most assuredly, is English or Welsh. Look it up. What does it say? Now, don't do the pronunciation. Just do the etymology of the name. See what it says.
I'm not looking it up. I'm doing a donation.
Whatever. Anyway,
Oh,
go follow this kid. Find out. JD Stillwell 656. Connor's leftover field trip dollars. He says, thanks for the F-117 breakdown last night. Tell him we love him.
Apparently he loved the show last night. He loves you and Leroy. So something tells me he's going to go into the military, Navy, and
I'd love that.
Intel or something.
I'd love that.
He's Ethan's age. He's like 3 months older than Ethan.
Oh, cool. Well, I like
BRILYN.
that. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, just rhetorically, bought it. What is it again?
It's BRILYN, right? I'm trying to find.
BRILYN. Yeah, I think it's Welsh. I don't think it's English. I think it's Welsh. And if it's Welsh, then you can say Brylan or Brillin. And if it's English, it's Brillin. I'm just letting you guys know.
It looks like English, possibly. This is
It's English or Welsh. It's one of the two. I'm telling you that for sure because Holy Hand.
Holy Hand.
So it depends how he says it. If his parents are English, it's Brillin.
No one can beat the name Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right. Another name that's totally English. That's my point.
He's very English, but.
Thomas, I hope you're okay, buddy. Hang in there. Sorry about your back. All right, let's get into it. Velasquez, she's a Democrat from New York. These people really don't seem to understand that you're not going to intimidate Donald Trump's people anymore. They don't care. They just don't.
We've had enough. It's been 9 years of complete ridicule.
Yeah.
And I think we're a little impervious to this by now.
Cancel.
I just don't care.
Cancel. Let's do it. Listen to this.
Whatever.
Specifically, which countries are you close to striking deals with?
I'm sorry, Congresswoman, but that would not benefit the United States.
No. I'm asking you a question based on the statement that you made on CNBC.
Has someone checked her residency? Is she legal in this country?
Exactly.
Can we just check?
And I
mean, just for shits and giggles, can we look at her knuckles and see if she
is
has?
Ilhan Omar legal?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she fucked her brother and married him. So yeah, I mean, she's a brother fucker.
Yep.
I'm telling you that it would be detrimental to the interest of the United States for me to answer that question.
Why will that be detrimental?
Because as the negotiations may still be in process as we speak, as we are not at the end of the week yet, I am sure that you through your question, would not want to compromise U.S. negotiations.
Reclaiming my time.
Listen, you pretentious pricks. You hold no authority over the American people whatsoever. Fuck your time. You're taking my time. I am here out of a courtesy per your request. If you are going to ask me a question, I am going to finish it at my own behest and my own timeline. If you don't like it, you can fuck the right off. That is exactly the words every single person sitting in that chair when one of those sanctimonious SOBs say that. I understand my language is foul right now. I don't really give a fuck. These people are not law enforcement. You have no legal obligation to sit there. They have subpoena power. And if you're going to throw me in prison because I don't want to sit up there while you go ahead and do a CNN or Fox News talking point and use me to berate and beat me over the head with your stupid comments, I'm going to take that gavel and shove it where the sun doesn't shine, and you'll be shitting wood chips for a freaking year. I am so sick and tired of these fucking people. You're not anything special. You are an elected representative who represents the constituents, and you hold no power over me whatsoever. Sorry.
Yeah, they think they are.
I hope I get summoned. Just one, that is my dream. Like, some people want to go to Carnegie Hall. Some people want to make the bestsellers list. Some people want to wear women's underwear.
That's 4 times.
And
we know it's on the agenda for this evening
and
now.
some people want to get a subpoena to speak in front of Congress. That is my dream. Because I'm telling you, I will make every headline. I will make every late night TV show. I will be like a guy catching a fly ball on the Green Monster in Boston and doing the vertical leap and catching it before it breaks the yellow line. Okay? 80-foot leap, catch the ball. That'll be the highlight. Because I will literally tell them to go fuck themselves. Okay, I feel better. Let's finish the rest of the clip. Sorry, I had to go off.
Secretary Besson, the president goes into a press conference and claims that there are negotiations going on.
What did you just call me?
I know, right? I heard that too.
I can't understand.
Did you just call me Did you just drop the N-bomb on me, lady?
I would just ask her if she could speak English, please, because I can't understand a damn word she's saying.
Listen to this again.
Friends, and claims that there are negotiations going. That there are negotiations. That there are negotiations. That there are negotiations
Fuck
going
you,
on.
Spick. Don't you dare talk to me that way. Listen here, Wedo. Don't talk to me. Don't use that racial. How dare you?
And then the next day, there's no negotiations going on. So why would you not answer my question? And that will be considered detrimental.
Hey, Rosie Perez, why don't you go fuck yourself?
I'd like to make fun of her necklace too.
Let's do that in a second. Oh, yeah, the pearl. Like, I don't know. Is it sterling?
To the American people, to the American economy. I do not understand. Despite your claim,
I'm happy to say there are negotiations going on. I'm not going to reveal the details.
So how long do you think those negotiations will take?
If anybody wants me to tell you what that necklace is, I'll tell you what that necklace is. It seems like I have a fetish with necklaces or something in women's underwear. Maybe I am gay. Remember our guest that came on and I was like, oh my God, your necklace, blah, blah. I knew what it was. I know what this is too. And if you know what the circle in the class signifies, Amy's going to tell us in a second after we watch the rest of the video. Hold on. No, you got to listen to Rosie Perez some more.
Before they are concluded.
There are numerous countries, as I have said, if you saw my CNBC interview, which you referenced, that there are 18 important trading partners, and we are moving forward at all deliberate speed with those.
Say you're reclaiming your time one more time. I'm reclaiming my time. I mean, time, it's like force field, infinity times 1,000. Infinity times 1,000. Just punch him in the fucking face.
Riley says, looks like Gomez from the Addams Family in drag. Now I can't unsee it.
Trans Gomez.
Yep.
That's outstanding. Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead, Amy. The necklace.
Now I might be wrong, but I thought it meant that you were in a sub-dom relationship.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Sub, if
That's
you have
exactly what it means. Yeah.
Oh, she gets beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, we found Olivia's fetish. Mine's underwear. Did you hear? Oh, she
I was
gets.
like, oh, she gets beat.
Oh, she gets muy guapopito.
I didn't say it like that.
You kind of did. I think everyone knows. Yeah, the clasp. Now, here's the thing.
It looks like a penis and.
Yeah, it's two balls and a cock. No, that's not what that is. But it's interesting. This is also Celtic, right? So Celtic tartans and others use this type of pendant, but this is predominantly used in sadomasochistic relationships and bondage relationships. This particular, but this is the kinder, gentler version that looks a little bit more professional. I don't think there's a lot of Celtic Mexicans out there. I don't know many. So I have a feeling that this piece of jewelry, and what's going on down in her neck, I don't know what those are. It looks like cock and balls. Maybe it's a jalapeno and a
peppers.
Peppers.
I think it's an eggplant or something. I'm not sure.
Eggplant. Well, the way that she dropped the N-bomb in there, I think it might be an eggplant. I mean, just more racial slurs from her. She's pretty horrible. Speaking of racial slurs, listen, folks, there's no expense here. We will offend everybody. Listen to this.
Didn't like that. Facebook pulled out funding, tried to shut us down.
Whatever.
But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Interesting thing is, like, people might watch this show and think Matt's racist. You know what? You people, I can't wait. I really do hope that I get a $10 million contract and Amy and Olivia and I get to do this full time and we build a studio we get to drive to each day. And, you know, Amy comes in drunk as shit, which we totally expect because she's a day drinker. And you know, so will I. I will totally drive a Mercedes and just get shit faced and just have, I'll call my driver Bentley. Big Bentley.
I'll make sure to back over you when I'm drunk too.
Oh, you should totally do that. Well, that's okay because you let me back over you when you're drunk all the time.
Please, y'all.
Oh, that was
Do you see how
horrible.
you walked into that? Just like literally
I was just referencing our earlier story, but
I was
okay.
just referencing the truth.
Oh.
Just saying. All it takes is a little bit of alcohol and you're fucking
Rachel wants to know if she can call in now since the phones are working.
not to talk about that case, but you can call in and talk about anything else that you want. Here's the real quick. There's a lady who's made over $500,000 by calling a 5-year-old the N-word. And there is a black guy who's made over $500,000 for stabbing a white guy. And let me just tell you, that has some serious racial implications, but I'm not getting involved in it. I've made the video of why saying the N-word is stupid and wrong and childish, but she has every right to say it. She just has to deal with the consequence. I've already made this argument. And now everyone's going out there making the argument on Fox News. And isn't it always amazing that after the argument that I make, they make it too? If you want to call someone the N-word, FAFO, you're going to find out. And you should be held accountable for that. If I ever heard anyone call a black person an N-word, you got more to deal with than that black person, because I'm going to put my freaking boot up your ass. There's certain things you don't say to people. But this show, we make racial jokes because they're funny. And I will never apologize for it. And if I get that huge contract and they go, listen to these clips, let's cancel them, you know what I'm going to say? You're damn right I said it, and I'll say it again. Because I don't care about your sensitive. Now that you're offended, now what? What are you going to do? What, you're going to cry? You're going to move on. You're going to move on. You're going to get over it until you're offended 5 minutes later from something else that I tell you to be offended about. I grew up on black jokes, Jew jokes, Catholic jokes, white jokes, brown jokes.
North Dakotan jokes.
Gay North Dakotans in Canada, whatever it is. I love those jokes. The joke my dad told me that was probably one of the worst jokes ever in front of two friends. One of them was black and my girlfriend. Not kidding you. And a vehicle drives by and it's full of and it's just shaking our entire car. And Steve, my black friend, is there, and my dad looks in the rearview mirror and goes, "Hey, Steve, you gonna do that?" He's like, "No, Mr. Spear, not all black people are the same." He's like, "Hey, don't call me a racist, man. I love black people. Everyone should own one." Steve laughed himself. He pissed his pants so hard because Steve has a sense of humor. Steve also, the first movie we showed him in my house, a black kid from Ojai, California. We showed him Blazing Saddles. He pissed himself. He was so funny. There was a time that we all laughed at black jokes. We laughed at white jokes. We made fun of each other. You could call someone a honky and nobody flipped out. Now, it is completely different. And now it is just, everyone is so damn sensitive. We're never going to do that here. Rachel, or is that your real name, or who's calling?
Yes, it is. Rachel's my real name, Matt.
All right.
Good to talk to you.
Well, it's good to talk to you, Rachel, because there's another name on my caller ID, but I'm not going to say that. But maybe someone else owns the phone or something. But Rachel, it's wonderful to hear from you. What did you want to talk about tonight?
I just wanted to let you know, I watch congressional hearings, and last week they were in a meeting, an open meeting, about funding deportations for these illegals. And Al Green stands up and is banging his fist, yelling, every congressman should be on a plane to go over to Honduras to kidnap those kids. And nobody has said a word about him wanting to go kidnap these kids.
Yeah. Well, why is he still talking? Didn't they censure his ass? I
have no idea, but they were, and even the Republicans voted to stop funding.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand this. What you're saying is to stop the funding of deportations of illegals back to their home country. Democrats and Republicans both voted for this. Was this a piece of legislation? I didn't hear this. Amy, you're shaking your head up and down. Do you know about it?
I didn't hear I didn't watch the hearing, but I did hear some. I didn't read the article either. It popped up on my breaking news alert, something to that effect, but I didn't read the article either. So I vaguely saw something about this.
Yes, but the amazing thing is Al Green stood there and banged his fist, yelling, "We need to go, all of us, get on a plane right now and go get these kids." And I'm like, why is nobody talking about this?
I don't know, because I would talk about it. What I do know is fiscal year 2024, $9.1 billion has been given to ICE, 430 specifically designated for immigration, detention beds, transportation, and deportation costs. 2025, $163 billion was cut to the U.S. federal budget for the next fiscal year, targeting deep cuts in domestic spending while increasing allocations for defense and border security. Homeland security spending would rise nearly 65%, including additional funding for increased border patrol and mass deportations. Okay, so that's what I've got. Let me go find this Al Green thing, and we'll watch it together and find out what the hell's going on. I have not heard any legislation of that magnitude, especially when it comes to the budget. That would have been everywhere. But let's find out.
Was that back in
I mean,
March?
I was just shocked that nobody said anything against him standing up there, and they were all talking about how that it wasn't right that we're deporting these people, that they have constitutional rights and should be let to stay here.
They certainly.
And I mean, I'm fine with that if they do it the right way. I mean, you know.
Yeah, they are certainly allowed and afforded some constitutional rights, but they're not awarded a trial, and that's what Democrats keep talking about. That's not what happens. Due process can be as simple as filing a piece of paperwork. So when they're sitting here and saying that, like, he needs to come back and face and talk to a judge and then be deported, he was already found to be worthy of deportation twice. Then he was on a stay because he claimed asylum due to rival gangs attacking him. Then ultimately, that's a stay of execution. It's not a permanent placement. It's a temporary hold. Well, that hold ran out.
Right.
So,
and from what I understand, the Maryland man is actually in what they call, let me think what the woman said, it's not regular holding. It's, golly, I cannot think of the words that she used, but it's different and he's treated differently.
Right.
But Al Green, they were discussing the mom, and I don't remember where she was from, that was deported with the 3 children that were born here.
Yeah, with supposedly the cancer children, right?
Right. And Al Green is wanting, you know, he's standing there demanding that they just go get these kids. Well, from my understanding, the mom chose
That's correct.
to take those children with her.
That's correct.
And he's standing there, him and Maxine Waters and a couple of the other ones, and saying, oh, no, we need to get these kids home. And he is actually demanding that Congress members go and kidnap these kids. And I'm like, why is not one person? I mean, that's he openly said that he wants to go get these children.
Rachel, let me answer your question. They did say something. They censured his ass because what he did for the State of the Union and shaking the cane at Donald Trump, they censured him. Now, this means that he cannot propose any legislation through the censure process. So it does. He can sit here and say this till the cows come home, and he will. He already put articles of impeachment against Trump 4 other times, 2016 to 2020, and was filing articles of impeachment before the State of the Union. This guy is a blowhard. He is an Adam Schiff without a personality. His own people don't even like him. He can say whatever he wants, but to voluntarily deport, which is to remove her children from the United States, was her choice. I agree with you 100%. So he can just say whatever he wants, but it doesn't mean any of it's going to happen. But I don't think they did any defunding, Rachel. I don't believe we've defunded any dollar amounts for deportation as of yet. I have not heard that.
Okay, well, they were voting on an amendment to an amendment. And from my understanding, and I might be wrong, so I was so upset about him standing there. I was just screaming at the phone. You know, I was telling him, you're really asking Congress to go kidnap kids openly.
Yeah.
Openly. Yeah. I mean, you know, and I'm like, why are they allowing him to stand there and say that he wants to go get those kids? I mean, do I think maybe the children would be better off in America? Probably.
Sure.
Do I think that it was the mom's choice? Absolutely. But, you know, and it's not our congressman's place to go kidnap children.
Well, right, or invade another country, right? Here's a video that here's a video that you can listen to. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but this addresses what you're talking about. Democrat politicians voted on this, and this was an amendment to stop ICE deporting U.S. citizens, and here it is. Try to get sound here.
That says ICE cannot deport U.S. citizens. It's batshit crazy. This should not even be a discussion. It is not even a question. U.S. citizens cannot be deported by ICE. It's the law. It's the Constitution. I will be astounded if Republicans vote no on this.
And they did, and they shot it down.
The fact that
And the reason why they shot it down is because the definition of U.S. citizen is very muddy and muddled, and people can actually they can use these protective statuses and claims of asylum to indefinitely stay into the United States. And also the problem is that they come in pregnant, they have a child, and then they go ahead and claim birthright citizenship. It comes down to this: if American citizens are here illegally, that is a contradiction in terms. There's no such thing. If you are an American citizen, you are here legally in this country. And unless
I'll be right back.
go do that. So this whole conversation is very similar, where they say illegal immigrant. There's no such thing as an illegal immigrant either. To immigrate to a country is the processes of accepting the laws and accepting the regulations to become a citizen of a sovereign nation. They are not doing that. They are breaking the rules, and therefore they are not immigrants. They are illegals and they are criminals. The same thing holds true for an illegal American citizen. There's no such thing. So we deport people who may have citizenship status and have committed crimes in a previous country, and we revoke their citizenship. That is 100% legal, and it's within the power of the president to do that. So Republicans actually voted it down, kiddo. Democrats are the ones that proposed it.
Okay, because see, I didn't wait. They were all saying aye when I hit the end button, and because I was really upset that he was proposing that they go kidnap these children.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That, you know, and everybody needs to know that that's what he was openly saying.
Yeah, he's horrible. He's an idiot.
In my opinion. I mean, you know.
It's not an opinion. You're right. He's an idiot.
It's nice, you know, like my sister, she says it's not that bad. And I'm like, if you just watch what they're doing and what they're saying, you would understand we're not in a war as far as a physical war, but we are definitely in a war.
We're in a culture war, and we're in a war of the erosion of the United States and the principles herein too that we've built this country on. I mean, there is a declaration of war against the Constitution of the United States and the principles and foundations of this country. And they've been there, and it's not just liberals, it's the government. And the government has consistently, since it's established itself, tried to walk back empowering the people and the citizenry of this country to ultimately have the say, and now it's gone. These legislators don't represent you. They represent special interests. Nobody gives a shit about what they care about. We care about prices and affording a home and being safe and fentanyl. And all they care about are selling you the next, talking point that's going to get them their fundraiser to get reelected again, or their political action committee. So there is no representation in this country anymore. It's all special interest.
What does Al Green think? I mean, the mother took the children with her. Children are best with their parents as long as the parents aren't abusive.
Right.
So is Al Green expecting to adopt those children and raise them on his own?
No.
Or if not, they're going to go into the foster system, and then where are they going to be at? I mean, they're just stupid. He's just stupid.
But he was claiming that the mother was never given a chance to speak with the father, and the father wanted the kids to stay here, and she was never asked. They just sent them, and that's all bull. It's all bull. She chose and I would do the same thing. I'm a mom. A mother's not going to voluntarily separate from her children.
Right. And a mother probably isn't going to go ahead and I understand their point, and it's sad, right? It's sad that a child has cancer. But can we stop pretending that Mexico and El Salvador and South America don't have cancer and Mayo clinics? Because they do.
Exactly.
Let's
they do.
Can we stop pretending that everyone who gets cancer outside the United States dies? Because that's not the truth. In fact, there are a lot of medicinal partnerships with these countries where we send our Doctors Without Borders are out. I mean, just give me a break. It's so ridiculous that Democrats believe that if we send somebody to El Salvador, that it's a death sentence. It is maybe when you're an MS-13. It is maybe when you're an MS-13 gang member. Maybe you shouldn't have joined MS-13. Go ahead, Rachel. Finish up for us.
I don't think that they actually believe anything that they're saying. I think that they want others to believe it.
Sure. Well, not only that, but they all go to the same country club. They all went to the same Ivy League school. They all go to the same Christmas parties. This is a joke. They don't hate each other. These lawmakers love each other. They spend time together. They've grown up together. This is all stage. This is all theater. The Republicans and the Democrats, the only reason I vote for the Republican Party is because they're the only ones who are not dismantling the Constitution of the United States. And if they are tearing apart some of the parts of the Constitution of the United States, it's usually for people who have no right to the Constitution, like illegals or criminals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I was just flabbergasted, though, y'all, because he was standing there demanding that they go kidnap these kids in this open congressional hearing, and nobody said a word.
Yeah. Rachel,
nobody.
Where are you from? Everyone keeps saying you're from the South, and I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
I'm from the great, beautiful state of Alabama.
Alabama.
Can y'all not tell?
Alabama, roll tide. Well, good.
War Eagle.
Oh, okay. Well, it was switch it up there. I bet you're popular at parties and when you go into a bar. So.
And I don't do either.
Oh, well then there you go. That solves that problem. Listen, kiddo, we appreciate you calling. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks for calling. Call in again. Don't be a stranger.
Thanks,
okay.
Rachel.
All right. Thank y'all. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Olivia's Southern Belle came out. She has it. It's hilarious. She's hi.
Every once in a while it comes out.
All right. Talk to you soon, Rachel. Bye-bye.
All right, Matt.
All right. Bye, hon.
Oh.
All right. So here's a video. Oh, she's amazing. Here's a video.
They like you did, and you think you're gonna check me in? I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
yeah,
didn't
I
pay
paid for a
$25
ticket.
for agent assistant, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that
you get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Please leave, sir.
No.
Please leave my personal space.
I'm not in your personal space. This is not your personal space.
This is my stationery.
This is not your personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket, and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, there is a reason.
There is a reason.
Just a little bit of a reason, not that these women.
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Okay.
Oh my.
There's always two sides to the story.
Yeah, you can't show up 30 minutes before your flight and expect to go. It's just not going to happen.
Especially when you're in check-in. I mean, you're not even through the gate. You're not even through security yet.
You're not going to make it. There's no way. They won't let you through. But they didn't have to act like that.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean,
like what? Like what, Liv?
Like the way they were acting. Seriously,
what
really
are you trying to
hope
say, Olivia?
nothing. I'm not the racist on the show.
Are they uppity, Liv?
Yeah, they are. But the way they're talking to him and the way they're recording, I hope they get fired.
Well,
really
he started
do.
recording first. Listen, I'm not here to defend the women. I'm just letting you know he broke out his phone and started recording first. It is possible for both of them to be childish idiots and both be wrong. Amy, what are your thoughts? What am I missing?
I have had experience on Frontier Airlines, and
Frontier
I will
sucks.
say it's probably worse than Spirit. And I've been stranded by Spirit Airlines, so I'll just say that. I absolutely I have flown them a couple times in my life. It's always terrible, and I think they just like when I get dementia and become like a mean person, it's like someone get me a job for that airline. I will fit in perfectly. They all hate their jobs. It sounds like this man was totally in the wrong, though. And he turned on his camera first, so he changed his tone as soon as he put his camera on, when these girls were already getting riled up, probably by his poor behavior initially. So I think they're both equally like to be shamed for this. And I just don't
completely
like.
And Shaniqua and Quantifa probably shouldn't be treating a customer that way, and they both deserve to be fired. There's no reason to speak to anyone that way. You can educate on the policy and be helpful. Sir, this flight's not going to work. But the good news is we're in the middle of the day and there's going to be another flight. I'm going to rebook you. It's going to be, here's a voucher for $2.50 for you to get a drink of water at the fountain, or use the bathroom water because you can't buy anything for $2.50, but something. But this is the problem, is that you don't hire people because nobody wants that fucking job because the job sucks.
Yep.
The airline industry rapes customers. They rape the people who work there. They rape you on the baggage fees. Their tickets, there's like 80 points of margin in a plane ticket, and they suck everybody dry for every penny, and they don't pay those people anything. Nobody wants that job. Who wants to work in the airport? Nobody.
No.
I've only flown Frontier once, and that was for my grandfather's funeral, if I'm not mistaken. And the way there, my dad is the one who booked the ticket, and he booked it under my maiden name. So when I went to check in and show my ID, they're like, we don't have a ticket for Olivia Spear. And I always carry my last ID with my maiden name. Always. It's still in my wallet. And I was like, oh, try Olivia and my maiden name. And I show him, I was like, here's the ID. And it's got the hole in it. So it's clearly, I can't use it. And she's like, oh yeah. I was like, I'm married a couple years, and my dad, and she goes, oh, my dad did it once, and she let me through.
That was personal. Your dad did it personally.
She let
I didn't
me
know
through.
Spirit killed your grandfather. That's horrible.
No, Frontier. I think it was Frontier.
Frontier killed your grandfather.
Yeah, no. And then on the way home from the funeral, we sat on the runway for like 4 hours. They wouldn't let us take off, and it sucked because it was a shitty week anyway. And I was just emotionally drained, and I just wanted to get home. And
time out.
Yeah.
Someone banned Christina Conley. Sorry. Christina, it's usually you introduce yourself, say hi, before you start like redirecting people off of my traffic to go and donate to you getting a grand trip to Napa, Women's World Magazine. Wow. We're really hopeful that I'd like to go too. Why do you get to go? Like, I wear women's underwear 5 times.
I don't judge my pronouns or misgender me. Don't misgender me.
I don't know, but I don't think support Children's Miracle Network. Sounds like we're supporting you, not Children's Miracle Network. Why are you a why are you a super mom, Christine? What makes you a good mother? Help me understand. Let's hear your qualifications, please. And can you also represent all other mothers who've applied and let us know why you're better than all of them too? Because if I'm going to vote for you, you have to earn my vote. So you got the stump. You can call in. Phone number is 276-200-2105, or you can write it in triplicate if you want to. What are your qualifications for being a great mother and being a part of Women's World Magazine in Napa? I'll wait.
We'll just stop the show for you.
You're worth it. You're the greatest mom in the world. You're super mom. Super mom 2025.
The super mom.
Because
not a super mom.
Why do you deserve a trip to Napa? I would like to go to Napa.
I'm a mom. Why don't I get to go to Napa?
Why doesn't Amy go to Napa?
I'm a decent mom.
Amy's had kids with like 7 different men, so she sounds like a super mom too.
They're all legal citizens.
Yeah, right. No, Christina. Okay, banner. All right. So now that we've done that, unauthorized federal law enforcement to target Americans engaged in concerning non-criminal behavior. Let me say that again. Federal law enforcement engaging with American citizens for concerning non-criminal behavior.
This is something we began a few weeks ago.
Kind of sounds like overreach to me. Here it is. Listen to this. Gotta love Biden.
When Tulsi Gabbard released some newly declassified documents, we've all been wondering the last few years whether the targeting of school parents or traditional Catholics or gun owners or Trump supporters was random and the result of just a few bad actors within federal law enforcement. Today, we can confirm it was at the direction of the Biden administration and a specific plan written in June 2021. Take a look at this document up here on screen. It shows without a doubt the Biden administration authorized federal law enforcement 4 years ago to target Americans engaged in, quote, concerning non-criminal behavior. They did this in the name of fighting domestic terrorism, but basically they were targeting people who weren't committing crimes. And it had a specific eye on those serving in the military, owning guns, or spreading what officials considered to be.
I am on that report. I promise you, I'm on that fucking report. Oh.
Whoops.
Well, you don't have to be rude. I mean, I was on the report and then they boot. Here we go.
Be disinformation, which in many cases turned out to be true information that the Biden administration just simply disagreed with. We now know this because Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard recently released a fully unredacted
Dude, you're
version
not supposed to start
of
over.
the prior administration's, quote,
Screw it. Now we know. Thoughts on this, Ames? I mean, everyone knew this. Remember when they did this when we had the "Don't Tread on Me" flag and the appeal to heaven or the "Come and Take It," and they said that we were domestic terrorists. That FBI memo, we leaked it on the show. We showed everybody. Like this is like some big secret. They did this with LCPS for all of us who are saying the transgenders and knowing what they're teaching in school and the library books. We were all domestic terrorists, but now it's official. So, your thoughts on this?
Yes, we all felt it. I mean, that's just what it is. Of course, we're not idiots. And I think that's why Donald Trump won the past election. We are not idiots. We're tired of being targeted for our religious affiliations or just being a concerned parent. That's ridiculous. So, yes, agreed.
Fair enough. Sorry, my dog has a bone, and it's like this big, and that's
heavy.
She's a female. Sorry, and it's heavy, and she sits there and takes it up and drops it, and the whole fucking house shakes because it's a Virginia home.
I love her. I miss her.
She's amazing. Here's an example. This lady here, I'm sure, if this was Donald Trump's time, from LCPS. Why is it always our school district, Olivia?
Did you hear what happened yesterday? Was
Yeah,
it
it's
yesterday
right-
or today?
Well,
Jeez.
here's this.
Who has been wrongfully accused of a Title IX violation. In truth, he is the victim of a Title IX violation, ignored and unsupported by the very system that is supposed to protect him. LCPS was notified multiple times that my son felt uncomfortable in the boys' locker room. These concerns were dismissed. As a result, video...
Notice how they give her 1 minute.
Yep.
For a topic of this size, and they will cut off her mic
Yep.
if they don't like what she's saying.
recordings of my son and other students were taken in a space which is a severe breach of their privacy, dignity, and safety. Our children are the most valuable gift we have, entrusted to your care each day. When we send them to school, we expect the same protection we would give them at home. The district's failure to act on known concerns didn't just endanger my son, it failed every student involved, including the complainant. This isn't just a policy failure, it's a moral one. I urge this board to acknowledge these systemic failures, immediately drop the Title IX investigation against my son.
Please yield the mic. Thank you. Thank you.
You cut off her mic. They don't let them talk. So
They're supposed to have 2 minutes, by the way.
Yep.
So
Well, she doesn't fit the narrative, so she gets one.
yeah, and that's the truth, because you know what? It's not that they steal our money. It's not that they send our money across everywhere else. It's not that we know that they're corrupt. It's their smug fucking attitude that they have while they basically pee on us and tell us it's raining. That is where I'm like, you know what? I'm not a violent person, but if anything wants me to pick up a rifle and stand at post, it's that. It's their smugness while doing it. Government should always screw over their people because that's what governments do. But you do it with a cavalier, narcissistic, demeaning attitude that you are pure and noble and kind. And I believe every politician should go to the lower rings of hell and have a pineapple shoved up their ass every hour on the hour and do it sideways. I can't stand these people. That's all I got to say.
It's ridiculous. LCPS always seems to show up. And you know what? I thought we got rid of some of these people. How is it still like this?
What do you mean by these people?
The freaking school board. I thought a lot of them got voted out or they resigned because of all the
changing of the guard issues. You know how it is. Changing of the guard. They just change because the people don't change. They're like, oh, we need to get rid of Joe Biden. Let's have Kamala. Now it's Bernie and AOC. Like it's a clown car, and they just keep coming out, and it's always more clowns, and they will not stop. It looks like a Mexican vehicle. It just will not stop. Just more clowns. I'm trying to say there's a lot of Mexicans in cars. Like I've seen 4-doors that have like 10 Mexican people. I'm from California, so I see it all the time. Used to see it all the time. What? Why are you going to bed? It's like 9 o'clock.
It's 9:30.
Did you stay on the phone with Will all day?
Was that her boyfriend? Did she get her job? I like have so much to catch up on.
Not yet. We have to do her resume, and we're going to do it this weekend. And but she does have a boyfriend now, Will, and he's a very nice young man. He's 6'7". And he's like 240 pounds.
Look at her.
He's huge, and that's why I love him, because if I don't kill him, Will go. So we like him. He's very, very respectful. He's very kind. He's a very nice boy. And if he wasn't, I would say no. But he's going to ask if they can. And it's been a couple months now that they've been going on dates and spending time, and they've taken it very slow. So this one's actually serious. I mean, they're doing it the right way. And she's listening. So, and she's setting those boundaries herself. She's not, she's like, no, I don't want to make a big deal of this. And she's doing good. Mom, want to add anything to this before we watch this last one?
No, she's doing good. As far as the job, she has not applied yet. I think she's giving up on that. Apparently she has a friend at school that has worked for this place in the past. And she was told that the first 5 applicants of the year are the only ones that get hired, and anyone else who applies gets shot down. And I told her, probably not. You should turn in an application anyway, because what if one of those applicants isn't qualified? They need to have backups. And I said, and a lot of times these companies keep their applications on file for years. And when they need a position, they're going to go to those applications.
I would never work for a community pool or an Elitch Gardens or any of those things. They destroy employees' morale. She should go to work at Mo Better.
She has to wait another year. She just wants to go to work this summer, but she can't. There's only a couple jobs.
Plenty of shit she can do around the house that I'll give her money for.
So I'm trying to
office as like a secretary. Like that's always like an easy job, like 9 to 5 hours, air conditioning, filing.
No, it's
stuff.
the age. I don't think they're going to let a 14-year-old in front of a doctor's office. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I'm trying to
It's okay.
give her good tips about, stuff like that.
Here's a tip. Stay in school and get your grades up, and mom and dad will take care of all your money like we always do. That's what it should be. But yeah, she should interview and go do it. But I would not be a lifeguard at a community pool. They destroy those kids. They just don't treat them right. And she's got a job at Apple when she's 18 or 16 or 18, and she'll be fine. All right. I want to show you this last video. This whole thing, the N-word. Okay. See, folks, this is why we can't have nice things. I warned you when you became anti-Semitic that racist and racism against blacks would then follow. See, because these people want to retool the language that Americans use. They want to retool the language of civility and use it with a lack of morality. And these are normal behaviors from all of these type of people.
And I could sit here and tell you and lecture you that you shouldn't say this and shouldn't say that. You can say whatever the hell you want, but there are consequences, and I've said it 100 times. This is known as the Kafka trap. Does anybody know what the Kafka trap is?
Never heard it.
Kafka trap is here. I'll put it into you. Amy, tell me why Jews shouldn't be persecuted.
Because they're people and they're.
Yep, you're guilty. You're you're a Zionist.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
You're a Zionist. And then if you say anything, if you defend it, and then watch this, don't say anything. Hey, there, Amy, you love Jews and you're a Zionist. Oh, you're not going to defend it. So obviously, we now know that's the Kafka trap. And this is literally 99% of the argumentation on all social media. If you don't say anything, you're that. If you do say something, you're still that.
Damned if I do.
It's called the Kafka trap. And every time people put me in, I'm like, dude, that's the Kafka trap. You're not going to catch me on this. Just because I disagree with you that I don't have to hate Jews doesn't mean that I'm a Jewy Jew. It doesn't mean I'm a Jew. That's the first thing. Okay, Rabbi. I'm like, see, that's funny that you go ahead and do that. You're just demonstrating that you don't have an argument and you just hate Jews. Why? Because you're too much of a fucking Neanderthal and people have told you to hate Jews. That's why you hate Jews, because you don't even know anybody. That is the Kafka trap. And this happens constantly. These are the number one level of argumentation. But there's also another one. Have you guys heard of the Overton window?
I have.
What's the?
I don't know what it is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
a lot of people have. So it's like a range of subjects that are politically okay to talk about. Okay, so here, I'll give you an example. Hamas, they should all die. Is that an acceptable take in the Overton window? That terrorists should die?
I agree with that.
It is. It's an acceptable form. Everyone agrees terrorists should die. Okay, except for obviously lefties. But the Overton window says it's acceptable to believe that terrorists should be eradicated. Now, Jews should be eliminated from the earth. That's not an acceptable Overton conversation, right? So how about this? Donald Trump spent time with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, but Bill Clinton was on his flight 26 times, and he had a freaking home portrait of Bill Clinton in a dress with lipstick on. No, that's not a part of the Overton conversation. You can't do that. Donald Trump sat with his daughter. Yeah, Joe Biden is in a diary about taking showers with his kid and sniffs children and talks about his blonde hair in his leg as roaches bounce up and down on his knee. And this is when he was younger. No, that's not acceptable in the Overton window. So the Overton window parameters are changing. And because it's now okay to openly hate Jews, and newscasters are allowing it, and programs are bringing these fucking morons on, like Joe Rogan, like Piers Morgan, and like the Hodge twins who are bringing on Nick Fuentes, you're changing the Overton window's acceptable norms. And now here comes the anti-blacks. People are going to start dropping the N-bomb, and now we're seeing it. White women, white men are now dropping the N-bomb on Piers Morgan's show, and it's becoming a changing the Overton window. We've already went through this, by the way. It was called the 60s. It was called Jim Crow. It was called Civil War. It was called the Tuskegee experiments. The Overton window is changing, and I'm telling you, open racism is coming back, and we are going to devolve as a country. Because watch this. And this woman, I don't believe she believes this. I believe that she's a free speech advocate, but this isn't how you go about it. I am a free speech absolutist, but there are consequences. Because one person making $500,000 for calling a 5-year-old an N-word, this woman thinks, well, I'm going to cash in on that payday and get canceled and go ahead and make money too. And if you think it's anything different, you're not paying attention. Listen to this.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
Yeah, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest? You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
If you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. Why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist. And you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
I'm not a Piers Morgan fan, but good for you, man.
Yeah,
good for you.
It was pretty. Listen,
what a horrible person.
Yeah,
with two black men on the panel, really?
No, it's one black man, just one.
Oh.
No, because the Democrats are just a complete ass clown. And by the way, the one guy on the left he popped a gun that had a flag came out and had the N-word on it when the other black guy was talking. And the other black guy was just as annoying. Here's what it comes down to. Piers Morgan, yeah, great. Congratulations. Why are you giving those people a platform? You're not forwarding the conversation. We've already had this conversation. The word nigger is not okay. Okay? It's not okay. Fag is not okay. Kike is not okay. Cracker is not okay. Spick is not okay. But if you're going to say it, you better be ready to deal with the consequence. Joe Rogan said it 18 times over like 5 years or 15 years of his podcast. And guess what? Every time he used it was in context. I just use it in context. I am so sick of saying the N-word. Like we're a bunch of juveniles and we don't know what it means. Say the fucking word. Have a pair of balls and say it, but you better be using it in context, and you better not be using it in a way that's going to get you shot or killed by the people that you're affronting. I'm not afraid to use the word. I'm sick and tired of saying the N-word. Maybe we need to make it hurt a little bit. Maybe we need the sting back for people to realize when you say it, the cathartic and palpable moment that you have, the palpable moment, not cathartic. It absolutely, like, you hear it and you're like, whoa, I don't like that word. It should feel that way. And when we sit here and we call it the N-word and act like we're a bunch of 2-year-olds, it makes me sick. Amy, your thoughts?
I absolutely I have nothing else to say to that. Like, I totally agree with everything that you've just said. And I think there's a time and a place to defend free speech for sure. But again, just like Olivia said, I don't like Piers Morgan, but I will say I've been on like his side a lot recently. I'm like, oh, he's making a lot of sense a lot more lately, in my opinion. Not with everything, but I'm like, oh, he has a good point, or he's being more or less divisive and more like middle, like asking the right questions and, in my opinion, on the right side of things a lot more often. And he did ask the right questions, and I agree with pointing out everything. It's like there's consequences to your speech, no matter what.
He did it right there. He did it right there. And then watch this, because here's the rebuttal. What I told you about with a guy named Myron. And I want you. I'm the victim of it, so please don't invite. Oh God, of course. And then you almost deserve for them to call you this after this tirade, because I want to punch you in the face at how you see. I can't stand the white people who use the word and say, what? It's just a word. And I also can't stand the black people who manufacture this outrage. Most black people hear the word go, man, that's fucked up. Why would you say that? And their reaction to it is like they've never heard it before. It's the black people who pretend that they've never heard it before, who never have. Those are usually the white bread, Harvard-educated Ivy League guys who have never heard any or experienced any racism in their life, like Colin Kaepernick. I love that Colin Kaepernick takes a knee for freaking racial equality. The guy is literally
He's adopted by white parents.
He's Hodgkins and hates his white parents too. He hates the whiteness around his life because it doesn't allow him any credence to sit here and claim racism. Here is this whole panel. If I'm doing this show, I say, fuck all y'all. You're never coming back on my show. You're fired. You're fired. You'll have your check for coming on the show. You'll never be on again. He literally is the new Jerry Springer. Okay? He's the new Jerry Springer, and it's honest. I'm sick of it. They're all responsible for this. Listen. But you're right, Liv. I do appreciate him calling this out, but here you go.
Her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you.
So Piers Morgan said to her, well, why don't you use the N-word? Use it right here. Use it right now. And she wouldn't. And then, he flips out and, and I've got my talking point. And that's really all they're doing is they're waiting for their 20-second talking point so they can cut it, make a clip, and make money off of it. It's just, we're fucked. When is the meteor going to hit? Can we just, meteor 2028? Is it time yet? I mean, is God bored? Can he just ladies, say something, make it make sense.
No, I'm in an agreement, and I also feel the same way. I feel like we are we're in the end times. I didn't feel that way until recently. I'm like, everything is wrong and bad and horrible. So I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Thanks for making me feel better. Now I really. I wasn't hopeful, but now, you believe in God. You're supposed to have some sort of hymn or something. Can't you oh yeah, sing some Southern Baptist shit?
Not Southern Baptist.
Whatever. It's all the same thing. Whatever.
We're Catholic. We're hated for our own reasons. I don't know what to say. I mean,
I think the Jews have it. We haven't hit the Catholics yet. We're going after the Jews and the black people. Catholics will come soon. The Mormons are flying gay pride flags. Nobody's canceling the Mormons. Yeah. You kidding me? They're like, oh, you guys are so inclusive.
Speaking of, look at our likes up there, our follows. Look up the number.
What?
Look
Is it
at
666?
Yep.
Where?
Just, on our counter.
Oh my God.
It just seriously, as soon as you said it just flipped.
Dude, God works in mysterious ways. Really, Amy? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a Baptist. I'm so sorry. Please, just can you say a prayer for me, please?
Oh, what timing?
Can you say? Listen, I like Piers Morgan. It depends on what day. When he starts talking about the Second Amendment, just shut up, you limey bastard. Nobody cares what you have to say. But that was good. That was well done. I would not allow a person on my show. People dropped the N-bomb on my show before, and it was the Groypers, and I cut them off. That's not a conversation. You're just trying to be a shock jock dick. If you can't make somebody feel small and insignificant without using some sort of racial slur, then you're not very good at what you do. If you can't use words to make your argument, if you can't make it without being an emotional wreck, and it's not like I'm trying to sit here and be negative to everybody and say nobody has any value. Candace Owens doesn't have any value. Tucker Carlson doesn't have value. Or Piers Morgan. They have incredible value. That's why I'm calling it out. This is the problem. They are leaders and they have a voice. And you're just espousing nonsense. And somebody needs to say it. So when you do say something that's really imperative and really important and can actually create and inspire people to do the right thing, that they'll listen to you and not turn you off. This one's going to make you ladies feel better. I'm not saying anything after this one. This is all yours. This is a guy who went through feminine reconstruction. Amy's going on. I love this guy. And I'm telling you, 33 days of this shit, and it doesn't get any better. This surgery is a lot of money. It's thousands upon thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars. And it just doesn't get much better. And this is, in order to look more feminine, here's the series of surgeries. Don't start with the anti-Catholic rhetoric. I'm not anti-Catholic. We're joking. This is Amy and I. I'm not anti-Catholic. I'm not anti-anything. Be whatever the hell you want. I can make fun of it nonetheless. But they will come with anti-Catholic rhetoric because Christians are the most persecuted religion on the planet, even more than Jews. And they will come for the Catholics too. It's what they'll do. Folks, read a book. History repeats itself. Here you go. I am not getting a copy strike for this swinging dick. Not getting any better. Not getting any better. Oh. Looks like that Karen person hit more than one person, you know?
What is up with the turning head?
We're trying to show you, getting the full perspective. It's not getting any better.
Doesn't even look like he did anything.
Still a guy.
Exactly.
You're still a guy. 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 I love how he's not looking at the camera and his eyes are bouncing. Still a guy. Still a guy. Still a guy. Yep. Still a guy. Still a guy. Oh, you looked at the camera. Still a guy. Oh my God. Ugh. No. Ugh. Just stop.
I hate to say it, but you spent how many thousands of dollars to look exactly the same, if not worse than you did before?
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible. You look worse.
So, dude, you don't look like a woman?
No.
Not at all?
No, even after 10 beers, I wouldn't fuck you.
It's no.
No.
No. Nope.
Did I just say the best part about this? I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Matt, you might be. But this person was on a live stream with like other people who want to transition or have been, or I don't know their story. But there was someone on there on this live stream who's like, are you going to get that feminization surgery?
Are you fundraising? Right. It's like telling a woman with a pot belly, when's the baby doing it? They're like, with him, it's like, so are you fundraising for the surgery? When is it going to happen? Like, what's the before and after?
What in the world did they do?
I mean, not only am I going to do it, I already did.
Yeah. Is there like a phase like 7 or something? What phase are you on? Are you in phase 1?
It was just funny.
Last thing, officials are refusing to allow the masked Democrats who invaded the Columbia Library to leave without providing identification. This is glorious. They took over this hall and they have been, kids are trying to study for finals and they are in this library and this is what it sounds like. And then they're all wearing keffiyehs, they're all wearing keffiyehs and from the river to the sea protesting. Here's the yeah, because nothing screams Palestine with a Native American drum.
Oh, man, if I was in there trying to study for final, I'm so pissed.
I mean, it's a Native American drum, dude. Seriously, get it right. You've got to have some camel skin and the gonads of, I don't know. Can you get a new fucking song? Can you come up with something a little better than free Palestine? I mean, seriously, it's like, do you all go to the same retard clinic and learn this shit? But it smells like a patchouli factory in there. So as they do this, they say, you know what? No more. And the police go in there after they assaulted several police department officials.
What's the worst that's gonna happen if you let people in, man? What's the worst that's gonna happen? What is the worst? You're gonna hurt people, man. You're gonna hurt people. So you're creating
Yes. Did we lose Amy? There she is. When does this qualify as an insurrection? When do they start shooting people? Because if this was Ashley Babbitt, she'd already be dead. I'm just saying.
Fuck you. What are you doing even now? Why are you doing it?
She fainted. Oh,
poor baby.
Clack your vest. That'll clear the room. So that's what happened. They refused to let him leave unless they had ID. And they're saying, sure, you can go, but we're not going to let you slip under the guise of anonymity. We're going to keep you here. And unless you provide an ID, you're going to be booked. And when we get enough paddy wagons out here.
Oh, so they're not, okay, they're not letting him leave.
Yeah, they've locked him in there.
And they're saying, okay, we need your ID. Not just school ID, their actual ID, so they can
go back and arrest him later. Sorry, I've lost the video, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Antifa is up in... Shut up, you whiny little... Antifa is up in Oregon. They're pushing cops out. They're having conflicts. Antifa is back. Go figure. It's summer. Donald Trump's in office, and now Antifa's back. Can we just get this going? Can we get the Civil War started? I'm really bored. And I'm ready to go. I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready. I've got it. I've got my rations. I've got my water. I've got plenty of ammo. Can we start this? Because I am so sick and tired of this shit. Let's just put our money where our mouth is and let's go to war. Because this is so boring. It's the same shit every day. You're offended. I have to tell you why you're being a big giant pussy. I don't have it anymore. And I'm trying to be like intellectual and remove the emotion. I can't anymore. I just want to curb stomp these people. Amy, talk me down off a cliff. Tell me that morality is going to win and that everything's going to be okay.
If this was, I don't know, 4 years ago.
Right.
Wait, no. If this was like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, I might be able to say that. And like with a straight face, but I could not in good conscience relay that now. I don't know what's going to happen in this world. I'm honestly terrified for our children. Like, it's just, I don't know. We live in a bubble. I mean, not a lot of horrible things happen here except for at the public schools.
Tell me about
County.
it. You know what they had to tell people? They had to tell people, don't stick metal in the charging port of your laptop because laptops are being burned up because of TikTok.
There's a TikTok challenge called the Chromebook Challenge, and that's what every single LCPS student has is their
It's
own
not the
Chromebook.
Chromebook Challenge. It's called Let's See If Your Fire Insurance is in Order Challenge.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say anymore. I do worry. I hope that my kids are going to be okay in the sense that they'll be able to navigate whatever trials are thrown at them. I mean, I try to prepare them. They're both still young, but we have to have frank conversations about a lot of things that happen in this world that I'm not ready for them to experience, but they see things, they hear things from their friends. And it's just, I don't know. I hope we just get rid of all the horrible people. Everyone just naturally can die off. And then we let the kids who are not assholes grow up in peace. I don't know.
Like, is it just too much to ask that maybe we just treat them like the Middle East treats protests? That they pull two randomly out of the audience, male and female, and behead them in front of everybody and say, Shalom, that's what you guys want. This is what you want. And then you cry and you faint when you get pushed a little bit. Yeah. These people are just pansies. And honestly, I hate to say this because I don't condone violence. I really don't. There was a time in my life I was all about it. Like, let's just, but just shoot him in the leg or something, right? Just have one of the cops just pop him right in the kneecap and just, who's next? I guarantee they will be in single file. Here's my ID. Right, here you go. Thank you very much. When's my court date? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I always love my law enforcement. Bye-bye.
What about the people who are students and just studying and weren't even part of it?
Well, that's why they need their ID. Are flashbang grenades legal? Just asking. Sure, police can use them. Just drop a pepper spray in there. Just close the door. Just little couple canisters of pepper spray and just let them calm down a little bit. We need to stop being such giant gaping vaginas. I don't mean to be gross, but we've lost our nerve that somehow law and order has been impacted by emotion. Law is supposed to be blind. If you break the law, You are held accountable. But we let these kids come in here and you're not allowed there. You're trespassing. Do you have a permit? No? Then you're going to jail in a paddy wagon and take them to jail. Amy, get us out of here. 1 minute, long show. Good to have you back. We love having you. And by the way, we're just kidding with the donation stuff. You're awesome. What do you want to close
You take
this
it
out
personally. It is good to be back. I feel like I've been gone, and it has been a long show. Sorry, and I was starting to work because it's like I got to finish my work before I go to bed, and I got to get up early. So it's all good. No, I love you guys. I'm just grateful to be here, and I do appreciate all the donations and everyone who does work hard to give us whatever they can for the show, because it does mean a lot to all of us.
It does.
And I just love all of you guys, and just stay safe and don't don't say the N-word. That's just like a PSA. I don't care what color you are. Don't say it.
But if you're going to say it and you're trying to make a point, let's not talk like we're children. If you are going to bring that raft down and you're going to open up that Pandora's box, especially these people on these shows, just have the balls to say it. Just say it. If you're so comfortable with saying it, just say it. And let the chips fall where they may. These people make me sick. You're so stupid. You wouldn't have the balls to. I would kill to watch them create a reality show. White bitch goes to Crenshaw and says the N-word. That show would end after one episode because they would all get wiped out. Amy, we love you. Get out of here. Go to work. We'll let Olivia say her things. Love you too. See you, buddy. Bye-bye. Love Amy. Love it when she's on. Livy, your 1 minute.
It's always short and sweet. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the donations. Appreciate it.
What's going on tomorrow?
You and Leroy.
Okay. What's going on the 16th?
Well, you said tomorrow.
I know, but I'm asking like what's
16th.
going on with 16th as well.
16th's our big show. We got Roseanne Barr, Lara Logan, Tonto, Damani Felder, Barry Morgenstein,
T.S. Dixon,
Lisa Regina, Jason Shepard,
Ryan Samuels.
And Ryan Samuels.
It's going to be a busy night.
Yep.
It's a race to 20,000. We have one of our good friends and fans, Chuck Peterson. I know I was teasing. Is going to go ahead and match up to $10,000. And we're hoping that we can hit it. We appreciate all of you. We thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks for donating. We'll have a new morning show tomorrow. And we will see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Thanks for watching the Donut Friendly Show. God bless and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Good night, y'all.
See ya. Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.